gets revealed, every headline getting peeled, every rumor getting grilled. Hip-hop industry drama, every deal. If it's making noise, then you know I'm in the field. Smoke News TV. I sit back and wait on it, cause the truth always rises when the smoke starts clearing. Smoke News TV. We back in the building, breaking down the latest. Every story got layers, everybody got opinions. I'ma do the homework first, looking past the captions, digging deeper than the surface. Cause every viral headline don't determine what the truth is. Beef, contracts, albums, interviews. Who's making power moves, who's just chasing views. Some call it gossip, I call it research. Connecting every dot before I give my first words. If it's solid, I'ma say it. If it's weak, I'ma call it. If I catch somebody moving funny, that's nasty work. Close Smoke News TV. We back in the bill. Smoke News TV. We back in the. No bias over here. I just call what I see. Whether legends or the rookies, everybody gets reviewed. Culture over clout, that's the code I live by. Every episode, another conversation amplified. So yo, if you're rocking with the movement, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and hype your boy up. Every time the smoke rises, you already know where to pull up. Smoke News TV. We back in the building. This is Smoke News TV. We back in the building. Let's get to it.
Smash that like button when y'all coming in the building.
Every headline
Smash
getting
that like
peeled,
button.
every rumor
That's
getting
it.
grilled. Hip-hop industry drama, every deal. If it's making noise, then you know I'm in the field. Smoke News TV. I sit back and wait on it, cause the truth always rises when the smoke starts clearing. Smoke News TV. We back in the building, breaking down the latest. Every story got layers, everybody got opinions. I'ma do the homework first, looking past the captions, digging deeper than the surface. Cause every viral headline don't determine what the truth is. Beef, contracts, albums, interviews. Who's making power moves, who's just chasing views. Some call it gossip, I call it research. Connecting every dot before I give my first words. If it's solid, I'ma say it. If it's weak, I'ma call it. If I catch somebody moving funny, that's nasty work. Close Smoke News TV. We back in the bill. Smoke News TV. We back in the. No bias over here. I just call what I see. Whether legends or the rookies, everybody gets reviewed. Culture over clout, that's the code I live by. Every episode, another conversation amplified. So yo, if you're rocking with the movement, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and hype your boy up. Every time the smoke rises, you already know where to pull up. Smoke News TV. We back in the building.
We back in the building. We back in the building, man. Everybody that's coming in, man, welcome to the channel. Grab your membership. Try to be down with Team Smoke. Smash that like, that hype, and that sub. That's all I need from y'all. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I don't know what you're waiting on. Share the video. Make sure you go follow me on Kick. We live on Kick also. Go follow me over there also. Yeah, so we got Nancy Grace joining us, huh? Yeah, Nancy ain't playing. You know, I had to get the two most important clips out of her whole little thing she did yesterday, so I grabbed that up. Yeah. I mean, Nancy just like, yeah, I don't believe what's going on here. No, I don't believe that his friends actually left him on an island there. There's no possibility that they could have did that. Why would he leave their friend on an island there? Just give me that good question. Why would he do that? I'm telling you, Nancy, she ain't no joke. Hey, Nancy ain't no joke, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Glenn Simpson from Chicago, man. Nancy ain't no joke, yo, for real. She said, I just don't understand why his friends would leave him there. You know, no, I don't believe that he drowned. I said, yeah, get him, Nancy. Go ahead, Nancy. Get him, Nancy. I'm telling you, Nancy ain't no joke. You know, if Nancy Grace get involved, you know something going on, because Nancy ain't gonna get involved. That's one thing about Nancy Grace. She ain't gonna get involved in those situations. She know that she's gonna look a fool at the end. She knows something suspicious about this whole shit too. That's why she was speaking the way she was speaking yesterday. Shout out to Nancy though, man. Oh yeah, we're gonna go over an interview. And they put up 125,000 of them. Now Terrell Owens put another 25,000 on top of that 100,000. The autopsy come out tomorrow, the independent one, which is kind of strange to me because I don't know what the hell's Ocean Springs actually waiting on, to be honest. What are y'all waiting on down there? So Ben Crump said, you know what? Nah, we're going to Chicago. Yeah, we're going to go do it. Yeah, we're doing a whole goddamn press conference over this shit. It's going to be spicy tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow about to be spicy because they doing a whole press. I mean, they're gonna have the cameras out there, all types of shit out there. It's gonna get spicy. Yeah, 125,000, Mr. On tape. Let's get this copyright out the way, man. Copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is absolutely for educational and entertainment purpose. Again, copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is absolutely for educational and entertainment purpose. The clips and the videos I play, they also owned by the original creators. If y'all want to support the channel, grab your membership. The mods, they'll put the membership link in there also. Also, if y'all want to support, there's a Cash App and a banner, and you can also support by the super chat. But yeah, man. So we got Nancy Grace involved. How many likes we got here? We got 50 likes. Let's get them likes up. We got 163 in the building, man. We're trying to get some more people in the building. What's going on with y'all though, man? How y'all evening feeling out here? How y'all feeling about this whole case? Let's start there. How y'all mental feeling about this whole situation? Yeah, let's start there before we continue. Because this shit is just, it's so many twists and turns, it's ridiculous. Even Nancy Grace could see the twists and turns and the lies in this goddamn story. And Nancy ain't gonna get involved if she knows she gonna look like a fool at the end, like I said. Pissed off, it's a cover up. What is bothering me? Yeah, every time, that's all you see on your phone. That shit in the algorithm like crazy. That shit on the morning shows. You wake up in the morning, nigga. Morning shows, nigga. 7 in the morning. You wake up with the weather, nigga. Breaking news. Knowing Wells. This and that. I mean, that shit everywhere. That shit in everybody's city, nigga. Morning shows, everything. Which as it should, because we all know the history of Mississippi. And they playing games down there, man. They playing games down there. She said the seed told retracting their statement. Yeah, because that seed told that. These people call it a private toll company, and they canceled the public one. Like that shit doesn't make no sense. Nancy knows what the outcome going to be. That part. Shout out to Jay Good. That part, Jay Good. Nancy been in this game too long, champs. She been in this game way too long to be jumping in the story and be like, you know what? Let me just join this over here and give my opinion about this. Nancy ain't gonna do that shit. When Nancy jumps in the story and a little unsolved mystery type shit going on, she knows something strange is going on. So I know the other people, not for nothing respectful. No, white people like, damn, why is Nancy talking about this? We all know the kid drowned. No, Nancy looking at it like, no, he didn't drown. If he did drown, why nobody ain't gonna save him? I saw Nancy Grace coming with it too. I knew I wasn't bugging yesterday when we did the live. Because everything she's saying, I was saying it yesterday, the day before that, the day before that. Now you hearing a lot of people saying the same shit I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm the first one to say it, but when you sit back and you analyze this shit, obviously it's a whole bunch of questions. Yeah, a lot of those. Pause. Nancy's a former prosecutor and knows the business. That's a fact. Shout out to Malik Shabazz. Shout out to Malik Shabazz. I don't care who don't like her. She thorough. Yo, shout out to Malik Shabazz. Shout out to you, champ. That's how I feel. I said, man, listen, I don't care who don't like Nancy, nigga. Nancy get the job done, nigga. When Nancy start bringing that shit to her network and she start talking about this shit, oh, yeah, we're going to get some answers. Shout out to Malik Shabazz for saying that shit, man, for real, because that's how I feel, man. That's a thorough BI right there, for real. She get the job done, boy. And she not biased. She go against her own kind, nigga. She don't care what color, skin, anything. Nancy gonna get the job done. She gonna put her clues together. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I thought Nancy retired. I ain't seen Nancy in a minute. Let's get to 100 likes, game, before we continue, man. We got 200 over 200 people in the building, man. Let's get to 100 likes. Exactly. She don't play. She don't play. That's a fact. She wasting their money on Crump. They wasting their money on Crump. Oh, pardon me. Shout out to Blah partner. The body didn't wash ashore. It was placed there. Shout out to Patrice. That's the same thing I've been saying, Patrice. If you've been following me, I've been said that shit, man. Word up, man. I've been said that shit, man. I said, man, they bumped the body back to the shore and laid his body down, face down like that. That's what they did, man. And they probably had his body in the pool or something. I don't know, man. That's why I said I can't wait till the autopsy come out tomorrow morning, fresh in the morning. That shit coming out. Yeah, they're gonna have a whole goddamn press conference, everything. Oh, it's gonna get spicy tomorrow. That's why I wasn't gonna go live today until I see. Oh yeah, we gotta unlock character too. Oh yeah, guys, yeah, we gotta unlock character. Yeah, we got a whole nother character that got unlocked in this whole case. We got another friend, classmate, saying that he seen Nolan on the island. What a coincidence, right? Some Spanish kid went to the island that same day with his family and friends, and he said he seen Nolan. Oh, we're gonna get to that. Oh, we're gonna get to that news break. We got a whole unlocked character, another friend, another classmate. We over 100 likes, man. Let's get to the news, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Share the video, man. Y'all already know what to do. Smash the like button. There's 3 dots in the video. You're gonna see the hype button. Smash that hype button too. Do me that favor. Let's go.
Pathologist has seen. We may soon have new answers in the death of Nolan Wells. The findings of an independent autopsy are expected to be released tomorrow. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump says the independent pathologist has been reviewing findings from the original autopsy since the family's examination took place almost a week later.
You want stuff from the first autopsy because they had the body closer to time. We got the body almost 6 days later. He's getting his report together. I believe it will be coming very soon.
Crump says he'll release the preliminary findings during a news conference tomorrow morning. The 18-year-old was found dead off Horn Island after disappearing during a 4th of July boating trip. The state medical examiner has not released an official cause of death, and the Jackson County Sheriff's Office says the investigation remains ongoing.
Hey, yo, the sheriff said he's still looking for clues. We done went by 2 weeks and a half, y'all. Because y'all know how I felt about Big Bad Wolf, Mr. Sheriff down there, Mr. Big Steve down there, the sheriff in town. You ain't got no arrests, no clues, no interviews, nothing. And we still get news break after the funeral. Now the independent autopsy coming out tomorrow. And this sheriff talking about we still need information. Yo, what the hell is you doing out there, bro? Oh, let me guess, you hanging out with Katie? Because Nancy, oh yeah, shout out to Nancy Grace. We about to get to her right now. Nancy want to know who the hell's Katie too. That part. What's going on down there, man? That sheriff need to get fired. I swear to you, you need to get fired. I'm being honest. Ocean Springs, I need to fire that man right there, boy. Hold up, pardon me. He's down with y'all though, right? Allegedly, and everything I said on this video is alleged. Let's get to Nancy Grace, man. They throwing us in the ocean and we still want to march. When we gonna get it, people? Shout out to OG Snake, man, Snake Potter. I said that, yo, OG, actually, you actually follow me. You be in the chat. I be seeing you in the chat and all that. You remember when I went in about that march and shit? I mean, shout out to the homies. Shout out to what they doing. They bringing unity and all that. Okay, we understand that. But, man, listen, man, we ain't coming down there for that. We ain't coming down there for that. We coming down there to get some answers. We don't want no unity. Nah, F the unity, nigga. They don't want unity, nigga. We don't want unity either. How about that? That part. And I sit back and wait. How we gonna have unity with them too? And they don't want the unity with us. We getting thrown out the boat. We getting hung. All types of crazy stories coming out for the last day in this 6 months. I sit back and wait. Am I lying? Y'all remember the female? They found her hung in a tree or some shit like that. I think it was in Georgia somewhere. Somebody put it in the comment section. Why the hell we gonna continue talking about unity when they don't want unity with us? We want answers. That's a difference. That's a difference. What up, Rock? That's the difference. That's the difference. We don't want unity. We want answers. We want the truth. Y'all remember the other story with the Kansas City lady, the black lady that went to the house to the football Super Bowl game? It was all her white friends. Next thing you know, she laying in the backyard. Oh, we want unity. We still want unity. We want answers. We still didn't even get the answers off that case. I sit back and wait. They still think they still don't even know what happened to that lady, that sister that was laid out in the backyard. They got you got about 5 white ladies in that goddamn house and their husband, about 2, 3 husbands, and nobody don't know what happened to that black lady. Y'all know what story I'm talking about. It was a Super Bowl party. She was the only black female in there. They found her in the backyard laid out. May her soul rest in peace. We got 400 some people in the building. Let's get some more likes, man. Let's get 200 some likes. Let's continue before we get to Nancy Grace. He said, leave black people alone. That's a fact, Alfonso. I don't know what you mean by that. I hope you mean tell them leave us alone. That part, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They gotta leave us alone. Because when they hang out with us, we make sure them niggas go back home, nigga. Hey, yo, that's my little man Steve right there. Yo, we make sure little Steve be good. We send him back home. We be on the phone with their moms. Yeah, moms, we got them. We put them in the cab right now. Nah, we got them, moms. We got them. They don't do that with us. They didn't do that with Nolan. I know everybody got a white friend. When that nigga get loopy, I make sure he make it home, right? He the only white friend around, y'all. I sit back and wait. Sisters, I know y'all got a sister-in-law that got a baby by y'all's brother or something, a white girl, a white friend or something. Y'all make sure Katie go back home, right? Katie be loopy as hell in the club. Y'all be blacking out. Stop drinking. You act stupid as hell when you drink, girl. Y'all make sure she go back home though, right? Y'all make sure ain't no other sisters putting hands on her, right? That's the difference. But with us, somebody put it right there. Facts. We be way too overprotective sometimes. And I'm glad he said that. Because we do. I seen it. I've been around it. I had friends, white friends, but listen, I know. It be other homies ready to, put hands on them. We be like, nah, cool out. The homie cool. He all right. He good. Nah, man, I got this nigga over here, this, that, man, word the thorn, I'm gonna get this. Come on, we know how that shit be. But we stopped our whole routine. Then the homie scared as hell in the ball. He ready to go back home. We like, nah, we got you, Steve. Don't worry about it. We make sure little Steve get back home. That shit crazy, man. How many likes we got, man? Come on, we got almost 5. We got 500 something people in the building. We only got 146 likes. Come on, gang. Let's get that shit up to 200 likes before we continue. Cause we got to get to Nancy Grace. Cause Nancy Grace straight laid that shit down the way I'm laying it down. Pause. He ain't go out there swimming by himself. And how nobody ain't seen him. If y'all want to say he drowned. He said they always feel comfortable around us. That part. He said we do head counts. Shout out to Tom. Shout out to Tanya. He said Brandon Tatum was in the Ocean Springs, Mississippi, talking about the interviewing those white boys. Shout out to Thomas Franklin. He said we taught Steve how to play spades and shoot dice. That's a fact, Rock. That's what I said, man. We be having them in the nigga. Don't bring the Spanish, nigga. We have those my Spanish people, man. We had them playing dominoes and everything, nigga, on the table drinking a beer, all that shit, nigga. We make sure they good. We make sure they good. We make sure they making home, all that shit, bro. It's bugged out to me because we seen too many of these stories when it's just one brother, one person, and all of a sudden nobody don't know nothing. When it's just a black hair, huh? Come on, man. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. How many likes we got, man? We got 172 likes, man. Let's get 200 likes before we continue, gang. Shout out to Rock for that $5 cash app, man. Shout out to Rock for the $5 cash app. Appreciate that, chat. The young man didn't drown. That's what I said. He ain't drown. Come on, man. Let's get them likes up. We got 177 with over 500 something people in the building. Let's get them likes up more, gang. Come on. Let's stop playing these games, man. Let's stop playing these games. Come on, gang. There you go. We at 185. Let's get about 15 more of them joints and we out of here. We're going to continue. Let's go. Smash that like, subscribe to the channel, get your membership, support the channel, man. He said, hello, everyone. Shout out to you. They eat good and all. That's a fact. Y'all ready for that? Y'all ready for that autopsy tomorrow? I don't know, Brandy. Shout out to Tanya for the 10 gems. The gold coin. Shout out to her for that, for my monitor. I don't know, Brandy. I don't know if we ready for that shit tomorrow, man. I'm being honest, man. Because you know what's crazy? Come on, we need like 7 more likes to get to 200. Because we got over 500 people. We trying to match this shit. You know what's crazy on Brandy? You know, all the shit we saying, whatever. You know, we got theories about this. How about that shit come back that he... But see, I'm not going to go by that. Because number one, y'all had that body about 6-7 days before y'all gave it to to Ben Crump and them. And I'm only saying alleged. We don't know what y'all did to that body during them 6 days before y'all gave it to the independent autopsy. We don't know what y'all did. So I can't wait till tomorrow to see if they seen something tampering, messing with the body, trying to do something. I mean, trying to make another narrative that he was high off of something. I don't know. Hopefully Nolan wasn't high. Hopefully he wasn't high on no drugs. But when we get to this little interview with his classmate, yeah, you know, I seen Nolan. He was kind of like, it looked like he was kind of drunk a little bit. He said Nolan was drinking a lot. That's what it seemed like. Oh, we're gonna get to that. But that's every 18-year-old. You 18, you get a little loopy out there. Know what I mean? All right, man. Let's get to Nancy Grace. Shout out for everybody that's pulling up, man. Let's go, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hype your boy up.
Washed ashore. We have obtained that photo. We are choosing tonight not to show it. That last sound from our friends at NBC joining me in all-star panel. But first, straight out to Todd.
Shout out to Kimberly for that $5 cash app, man. Shout out to Kimberly for that $5 cash app. I appreciate that. Everything counts, man. Appreciate that.
His body spotted by the United Cajun Navy, washed ashore. We have obtained that photo. We are choosing tonight not to show it. That last sound from our friends at NBC joining me in all-star panel. But first, straight out to Todd Terrell, representing the United Cajun Navy, participating in the water search for Nolan Wells. Todd, thank you for being with us. What did you observe?
You know, Horn Island, that area right there is an area that we have seaplanes that we operate back and forth to the island, taking people back and forth fishing, or all field workers, you know, back off to rigs and stuff. That morning, the body was observed on.
Now, Nancy's talking to one of the rescue guys, you know, one of the Navy, one of the guys that came down there looking for Nolan and all this. This is what he's going to explain to y'all of what's going on. Because, you know, Nancy Grace she get the people that's going to talk. Now, I mean, that's how Nancy get down. Shout out to Nancy Grace once again. Yeah, I want y'all to hear what this guy got to say. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video.
North.
Straight out to Todd Terrell, representing the United Cajun Navy, participating in the water search for Nolan Wells. Todd, thank you for being with us. What did you observe?
You know, Horn Island, that area right there is an area that we have seaplanes that we operate back and forth to the island, taking people back and forth fishing, or all field workers, you know, back off to rigs and stuff. That morning, the body was observed on the northwest portion of Horn Island, which is not unusual for someone to drown and be washed up in that area. There was a park ranger that was on the island that actually had spotted the body, and we were calling in down to law enforcement officials on the ground what we saw from the air.
Todd Terrell joining us from the United Cajun Navy, called in to participate in the water search for this young star athlete, Nolan, around his death. How is it that a group of his friends go out on a boat, they go to a remote Horn Island, there is nobody there, it's uninhabited, there are no phones, there are no bathrooms, it's just a hangout place. How does he end up dead on the shore and everybody else makes it back. I want you to hear one more time what the group is saying about that day.
They met that day, and it was it's kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they'd ever hung out was at Horn Island on July 4th.
From our friends at GMA, who is she? Where is she?
Hello, everybody. What the hell we been saying on this goddamn on this content, trying to find out what happened in Nolan Wells? Well, what everybody in the chat be saying? Where is Katie? Who is she? Where you at? What you doing? What's going on? Why your name is all over these narratives? Shout out to Tanya for that $2 cash app. Shout out to Tanya for that $2 cash app. I appreciate that. Why your name is all over the place? Even Nancy Grace want to know who the hell is this individual. That's why I was saying, pardon me. That's what I was saying. When Nancy jumped on this, and like I said in the beginning, Nancy's not gonna jump on stories which she don't think it's kind of strange, something going on, because she don't want to make a fool out of herself. So when she look at the narrative that Katie is all over these stories, Nancy's saying the same thing we all been saying in this goddamn chat, and myself also. Who the hell is Katie, and why the sheriff haven't given us an interview with the female? What's going on with this girl? Who her parents? Do she got connection also? I'm starting to think she got connections. I think her father's a cop, if I ain't mistaken, right? Let's get to Nancy. Nancy said she want to know who Katie is too.
What if uninhabited, there are no phones, there are no bathrooms. It's just a hangout place. How does he end up dead on the shore and everybody else makes it back? I want you to hear one more time what the group is saying about that day.
They met that day, and it was it's kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they'd ever hung out was at Horn Island on July 4th.
From our friends at GMA, who is she? Where is she? What, if anything, did she have to do, if there is a she, with Nolan's death? That's from our friends at GMA.
I just had to laugh that part, yo. Y'all see Nancy's face? Nancy said, who is she? Who is she? Where's she at? Where's she at? What's going on? Like, yo, I'll rock with Nancy. Her face expressions be crazy. Hey, yo, Nancy, like, who the hell this girl Katie is, man? Shout out to Nancy. Let's continue, man. Who is she? What's going on? What's good? Yo, shout out to Nancy. Hey, yo, I swear, man, her face expressions be funny as hell, yo.
To you, Tom, and everybody else makes it back. I want you to hear one more time what the group is saying about that day.
They met that day, and it was it's kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they'd ever hung out was at Horn Island on July 4th.
From our friends at GMA, who is she? Where is she? What, if anything, did she have to do, if there is a she, with Nolan's death? That's from our friends at GMA. Back to you, Todd Terrell. And I'm about to go to Caitlin Becker, a senior national correspondent, New York Post, on the story from the get-go. Todd, you stated to me that it's, quote, not unusual for bodies to wash ashore in that spot. What do you mean by that? Because if it was that common, wouldn't this be designated a dangerous area and there would be warning signs? What do you mean it's not unusual? I find that hard to believe.
Well, many areas along the coast of the whole Gulf Coast area is a dangerous area. You know, I don't believe they could put up signs anywhere. I think it should be known that these are bad areas. The rip current is very bad in that northwestern portion. We call it the washing machine, actually. It's an area where the current just rolls round and round in there, kind of like a washing machine.
So this guy from the whatever, the Navy, Cajun Navy SEAL, whatever the hell they are. I'm gonna call you sir. I'm gonna call you Rescue and Search. That's what the hell we're gonna call them. But anyway, he's explaining how the water is, how the water wave, how the tide is, and where Nolan was at actually. at that moment of, I guess, at the part of the island, that tide of the water, it could get kind of rough over there. Pause. This is what he's saying. You know, they be out there in the water, so I'm gonna go by what he said, but I'm not gonna 100% believe him. Let's not sit and act like, oh, we gotta believe them because they know about the water and they be rescuing people. Nah, we ain't gonna be doing that. Anybody can lie. I'm just saying a legend. Everything I say is a legend. But according to him, he said that part of the where they was at, that section kind of it gets crazy. It could go from 3 to 4 feet, and that shit could drop to 20 feet. Y'all about to hear him say that. So he assuming that's what happened to Nolan. Let's continue.
And one of the
That common, wouldn't this be designated?
They met that day, and it was kind of really did like.
You, Todd Terrell, and I'm about to go to Caitlin Becker, a senior national correspondent, New York Post, on the story from the get-go. Todd, you stated to me that it's, quote, not unusual for bodies to wash ashore in that spot. What do you mean by that? Because if it was that common, wouldn't this be designated a dangerous area and there would be warning signs? What do you mean it's not unusual? I find that hard to believe.
Well, many areas along the coast of the whole Gulf Coast area is a dangerous area. You know, I don't believe they could put up signs anywhere. I think it should be known that these are bad areas. The rip current is very bad in that northwestern portion. We call it the washing machine, actually. It's an area where the current just rolls round and round in there, like kind of like a washing machine. And one of the interesting things was where Nolan was found was probably pretty close to where the incident occurred. So the body didn't go that far.
Okay, what incident? Was there an incident? Are you suggesting Todd Terrell, joining us tonight from the United Cajun Navy, our friends, by the way, at the United Cajun Navy? They are called in on many, many missing persons case. Todd, you stated the incident. What incident? You mean he didn't drown?
We're saying that whatever happened, we're calling an incident. Our job as United Cajun Navy is to bring people home back to their families, first of all, alive. Second of all, recover the body if possible. We knew in this case, the time frame that was involved, that we were looking for a recovery at this point. But when I said the incident, something happened to make Nolan not be with us anymore. It appears as though it was a drowning. You know, there was a lot of rumors about him being brought.
Why they keep bringing that drowning shit up? It appears to be a drowning. How you know? You just said you ain't no goddamn medical. You go out there looking for missing people. So when you see a body, how you know it was a drowning? The body was face down. That's number one. Let's start there. I'm tired of them saying that he drowned. Stop. Let's get the autopsy them all, and hopefully Ocean Springs will drop their shit also. The town over there, the county, whatever you want to call it. But we getting ours tomorrow. Let's start there. Shout out to Kimberly for the $20 cash app. Shout out to Kimberly for the $20 cash app. Appreciate that. But like I said, stop with the drowning. Stop it. Yeah, it's assumed that he drowned because the tides in the water and all that. Okay, so why everybody else ain't goddamn drowned then? And why Nolan was the only one to jump in the water? Because Nancy gonna get to that. Why he's the only one? Yo, I'm gonna go take a dip, y'all. Pause. I'm gonna go jump in the water right quick. You telling me Nolan's the only one that jumped in the water? So if we're gonna say that, if y'all gonna say, like I continue saying, if y'all gonna say it's an accidentally drowning, why nobody ain't gonna save him? You gonna say that they couldn't see him? Somebody had to know he jumped in the water. You think Nolan just gonna jump on there on his behalf and don't tell none of his friends? Nah, that's an 18-year-old. Hey, yo, I'm gonna jump in the water. I can hear him saying that. Let's continue, man. Oh, that was Miss Special. Oh, pardon me. Hold up. Damn, hold up. My bad, Miss Special. Yo, my bad, Miss Special. Shout out to my mom, Miss Special, man, for that $20 cash shot. Shout out to my mom, Miss Special, for that $20 cash shot. I appreciate that, love. Let's continue with this dude, though. He was drunk and drowned. That's what you think happened, Justice Jane? But let me ask you a question, Justice James, before we continue, right? If he was drunk and drowned, why nobody ain't go? Somebody had to know he was in that water. Think about it. If you in the beach with your homegirls and y'all chilling, whatever, y'all drink y'all little drink. Yeah, girl, it's nice as hell out here. I'm gonna go take a dip in the water. Now your girls know where you at, so they can keep an eye on you. You telling me Nolan ain't do the same thing? That's all. That's all my questions to you. Because anybody that's gonna jump in that water, you're gonna let your individual know the people you with. Yo, I'm gonna go jump in the water right quick. Come on, we all laid on the beach and all that. Know what I mean? Like, yo, I'm gonna go jump in the water. Or you tell your other half, yeah, I'm gonna go jump in the water. And your girlfriend standing there getting tan, she watching us jump in the water. It's nasty work, man. But shout out to you for that comment. Somebody had to know he was jumping in that water if he was drunk and he drowned. Let's continue though. Let's get 300 likes, man. Come on, gang. Let's get some more likes in the building, man. There's 800 and something people in the building. Let's get them likes up to 300. Come on, let's match the count halfway. Do me that favor. So where did he die? We don't know. Bella, we don't know what the hell. We trying to figure it out too. A lot of us assuming he was on a boat going to the land and they brought his body back. Because when they found him, he was laid face down. We're going to get to it now. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. We trying to figure this shit out our damn self because there's too many loopholes in the story. Pause. There you go. I appreciate the likes, gang. Let's continue, man.
On many missing persons case. Todd, you stated the incident. What incident? You mean he didn't drown?
We're saying that whatever happened, we're calling an incident. Our job as United Cajun Navy is to bring people home back to their families, first of all, alive. Second of all, recover the body if possible. We knew in this case, the time frame that was involved, that we were looking for a recovery at this point. But when I said the incident, something happened to make Nolan not be with us anymore. It appears as though it was a drowning. You know, there was a lot of rumors about him being brought back to the land 10 miles away and you know, brought back out there and dumped off. I don't believe any of that is true. Whatever happened in that water, we're calling the incident. You know, the water goes from 2 to 3 foot to like 20 feet real quick. You know, there was some underage kids out there drinking. It's an island, you know, there's no IDs being checked or anything like that. So when we said an incident, there's anything that could have happened. And not every person that drowns do you hear screaming and hooping and hollering. But at this point, our job was to bring Nolan home, and we did that.
What was observed? Guys, you're seeing right now from our friends at the United Cajun Navy the video taken from their aerial craft. On the beach, you see a grouping of individuals. Now, from another source, we have obtained photos of Nolan's body that we are not showing.
So Nancy got photos of Nolan's body at that moment. You know, when they found him on the island, Nancy got photos of it, but she said she's not going to show it. Very interesting, right? Very interesting. Nancy said she got photos of Nolan's body laid out on the island when they found him. Let's continue. Terry said blacks can't swim. You can't. I can't say all black people. I mean, a lot of people can't swim. I'm gonna say it that way because a lot of white people can't swim either. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Nancy got the pull. That's a fact. She does. She got that plug. They making me mad. Dante, man, you might as well take a sip of that cognac, nigga. Go get it. Nah, I mean, or light something up, nigga. Pause. Nah, I mean, so, because they been getting me mad all week, nigga. Word. Why ain't nobody asking for the first person who found his body? His body, some shit. Come on now, gang. Y'all asking the wrong people. If you been Divine, you already know. We've been on that. We've been on that. We've been on all them topics. We want answers from everybody. We want answers on the video that Nolan joined and jumped on another boat. after his friends left. That was the second video we played yesterday. Who was that? Katie father? They saying that's Katie father. We still don't even know who the hell Katie is. So it's a lot of questions here. It's a lot of questions, man. We got to ask the people that found them, like you said. They could have did it, you know what I mean? The park ranger. That's a fact. The park ranger found them. Let's continue, though, gang. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Hype your boy up. Yeah, they trying to say fentanyl, but I don't think that kid was on fentanyl, man. Unless he took a bad pill and he didn't know what the hell they gave him. And I could see that happening.
It's just not.
Person that drowns, do you hear screaming and hooping and hollering? But at this point, our job was to bring Nolan home, and we did that.
What was observed? Guys, you're seeing right now from our friends at the United Cajun Navy the video taken from their aerial craft.
Hey, mods, if y'all don't like what y'all like, y'all know what to do, man. Put them on timeout or smoke their ass up out of here. Y'all know what to do, mods.
On the beach, you see a grouping of individuals. Now, from another source, we have obtained photos of Nolan's body that we are not showing. It's just not right. But I can tell you, when you see that grouping of people on the beach, they look like little ant figures from this high up above, but that is where Nolan's body is. They're standing around it. As I recalled, Todd Terrell, Nolan was face down, still fully clothed on the beach. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. He was face down, which would have meant that he drowned. Now, when we say he was found fully clothed on the beach, it was in the same vicinity of where.
That's bullshit. You see how that guy said that if he was face down, obviously that means he drowned. But Nancy ain't gonna believe that. Oh, Nancy gonna rebuttal. I know Nancy Gray's gonna have a whole rebuttal over that shit. They might have placed him there face down. Remember, he didn't get found till Monday morning. We don't know where Nolan was at. They was out there searching July 4th after 12 o'clock. They had drones out there and they still can't find the kid. And you telling me, let me ask y'all a question. That water that's around that island, what type of goddamn creatures in the water? What we talking about over there? We got alligators down there, whatever, because I ain't from down there. What we talking about in that water? They got sharks around that island or something? What's going on? Somebody tell me what's going on with that island and what's surrounding that island. What type of creatures all in that goddamn water, whatever? Somebody put in the comment. I know somebody laid down there. You got to know about that goddamn Horn Island. Somebody got somebody down there. Because you telling me that body was floating in that goddamn water for a day and a half and that shit didn't get, pardon my language, I didn't mean that. Rest in peace to Nolan's well. You telling me his body didn't get eaten? Sharks and alligators. Somebody put sharks and alligators. And you telling me his body didn't get eaten for a day and a half? They didn't find his body till Monday morning. That's what makes me think they placed his body face down like that. They brung the body there. Allegedly, whoever had him. Somebody said alligators. And you telling me them alligators want to eat them? Killer catfish. They said catfish about 300 pounds. And them catfish, they eat humans. Now y'all understand what I'm saying? A day and a half of that body floating in that water. And you telling me none of them goddamn creatures ain't take a bite? Make it make sense. They placed that body there face down, allegedly. Let's continue. Somebody said sharks and gator. They want them to eat him. That's why I think they probably did put his body there, probably thinking that his body was gonna be gone. That's what I was saying. It was God. If it's true that they placed his body in the water, because I believe they put him in the water, and I believe they thought his body was just gonna wash off. That's my opinion. I think they got surprised. It's either that theory or they placed that body right there, face down on the sand over there where they found him at Monday morning. But then people gonna say, well, how they even got there? Connections. What we talking about? We talked about this yesterday. I don't think the three boys or anybody else, young adults, young college kids, could pull something off if they did unalive them. They can't pull that shit off in a day and a half. They're gonna need some help. They're gonna need some connections. They're gonna need help to try to place the body, put the body, whatever, allegedly. You telling me three college kids figure that whole shit out? No. Don't believe that shit. They got help. Smash that like button. We got 1,000 people in the building, man. We should have almost like 500 likes. Come on, gang. Let's continue though. Whales, sharks, and seaweed mermaids. Somebody put mermaids. How he knows. I was in the island. I seen Nolan do fentanyl. Hey, yo, get Terry out of here. You know, but yo, mods, why y'all ain't get Terry out of here, man? I'm gonna get him out of here. I got Terry out of here, man. That nigga, he's annoying. We talking about, come on, man. You talking crazy. Exactly. Hey, how the hell the body gonna surface in the same place where it was currently at a day and a half, where they was partying at? But they couldn't find the body on a day and a half, but then all of a sudden the body was there on Monday. Make it make sense. That's not happening. Shout out to you for saying that, because that's impossible. They placed that body there. Hands down, they placed that body. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Allegedly. They placed that body there, bro. And like I told y'all, them 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids, they couldn't pull that shit off by themselves. They had to have some help and connections, that part. And we all know their families, there's a judge and some of their other family members are hot. They got high profession in that goddamn law enforcement and also in the court system, allegedly. Katie was in the water. How many likes we got, man? Let's get 40 more likes to 400, man. Let's continue, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Shout out to Nikita Tillman for that $10 cash app, man. Shout out to Nikita Tillman for that $10 cash app. I appreciate that, love. Let's continue.
Of where he
Grouping of people on the beach.
person that drowns, do you hear screaming and hooping and hollering? But at this point, our job was off. I don't believe any of that is true. Whatever happened in that water, we're calling the incident. You know, the water goes from 2 to 3 foot to like 20 feet real quick.
Yeah, I heard that. He said certain parts of that land where the water could go to 2 to 3 feet, and that shit could drop to 4 feet, and that shit could drop down there to 20. But remember, we heard that he was okay. He's a strong swimmer. But see, I don't want to go by that. How the hell nobody know he was out there swimming? That's number one. Let's continue.
There was some underage kids out there drinking. It's an island, you know, there's no IDs being checked or anything like that. So we said an incident, there's anything that could have happened. And not every person that drowns do you hear screaming and hooping and hollering. But at this point, our job was to bring Nolan home, and we did that.
What was observed? Guys, you're seeing right now from our friends at the United Cajun Navy the video taken from their aerial craft. On the beach, you see a grouping of individuals. Now, from another source, we have obtained photos of Nolan's body that we are not showing. It's just not right. But I can tell you, when you see that grouping of people on the beach, they look like little ant figures from this high up above, but that is where Nolan's body is. They're standing around it. As I recall, Todd Terrell, Nolan was face down, still fully clothed on the beach. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. He was face down, which would have meant that he drowned. Now, when we say he was found fully clothed on the beach, it was in the same vicinity of where he possibly drowned, you know, right there. So it was not uncommon for the body to have washed up right there. That being said, that area full of rip currents really strong right there goes from 2 to 3 foot to 20 feet pretty much within a couple steps. So that being said, whatever happened really close to where the body was found.
You know, Todd Terrell, I don't mean to be giving you a hard time. This is not about you. The United Cajun Navy are the protagonists in this scenario. You're the good guys. I've just got so many questions about how this happened. Was there anyone else on Horn Island when Nolan's body was found?
Now there was the park ranger was out there, and there was some law enforcement officials that actually had their boats anchored out there. You know, they were kind of like waiting around for a call of what to do. What people don't realize is when you're looking for a body on the water, especially in the Gulf where you have waves going and you have white caps, it's a little bit harder to see. When you're in a boat, you can only kind of see the vicinity around you. So when we put these seaplanes up in the air, we can get a much more visual of the much more bigger area. And these seaplanes can go low and slow. So what we do is we stay in contact with the officials on the ground and tell them what we see. And if they see something too, they can relay it up to us and we can go investigate it. So in this case, there were several law enforcement boats that were just kind of hanging out in the area on the island. And there was numerous other boats in the area, you know, circling and looking. But the body was found by a park ranger as it washed up on the beach.
You know, very curious, Todd. Guys, joining us, Todd Terrell with United Cajun Navy. When I said, was anyone else on the island when Nolan's body was found? Your answer was completely 100% accurate, but let me rephrase and refine.
Let's go, Nancy. She like, I hear what you're saying, but let me refrain what I'm trying to say here. Let me tell you what I gotta say here. Shout out to Nancy, man. Shout out to Nancy Grace. Yeah, put them in that hot seat, man. Shout out to Nancy Grace for saying that. I understand what you're saying, but hold up. Let me refer what I'm trying to say here. Shout out to Nancy, man. Smash that like button, man. Let's continue, man. Let's hear what she gotta say. Shout out to Tanya Cart. Shout out to Tanya Cartwright, man, for the $20 cash app. Shout out to Tanya Cartwright for the $20 cash app. I appreciate that, love. Salute.
Find my question.
So we put these seaplanes, and there was numerous other boats in the area.
Completely 100% accurate, but let me rephrase and refine my question. You're saying the park ranger found him. That leads me to believe there were no friends. There was no newly met girlfriend. So am I left to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own and the friend girl leaves, the mates from school leave, everybody just leaves him out in the water and he dies and then just conveniently washes ashore? Somebody just left him out in the water? Does that make sense to you, Todd Terrell?
Well, you know, being a person that goes to this island and several other areas that you can only get to by boat. We have some restaurants and bars in Louisiana that you can only get to by boat, which means you have to hitch a ride with somebody on a boat or that has a boat to get there, which a lot of things could go wrong in that scenario. But as far as what we believe, I believe that Nolan went out there with a group of friends. They were friendly, obviously so, because he was even out there. I mean, you got to understand, to go to an island, you have to have a boat, which means you have to have friends, which you have to have people that kind of like you to even bring you out there. So when Nolan got out there, the group of guys he was with, you know, they decided to come in a little bit earlier. They were having some engine trouble on their boat, which is not uncommon. Happens a lot. Nolan, for whatever reason, decided to stay on the island, which is not uncommon. He could have, you know, had this girl he was talking to. He could have just, for whatever reason, decided to stay. Not uncommon. That doesn't give us any reason to think foul play or anything was involved there. The issue is when he stayed on the island, he had to hitch a ride back in with somebody. And there's where the issue becomes, who did he hitch a ride back in exactly? How were these people connected to him? How did they know him? And it's not uncommon for you not to know somebody at all and just say, hey, I need to ride back in. And they say, yeah, come on, get in the boat with us.
Is that Katie right there? Let me ask y'all a question. This Katie right here, who he get a ride with? Because we see the second video that obviously he was on the second boat. The girl Katie keep coming up. I had to stop it right here. This Katie. Because we still don't know who the hell is Katie. Where is Katie? Nancy Grace want to know where Katie at too. Where are you? Who are you? Is this you on a boat all the stuff? I don't know. I'm just assuming. This you right here, Katie? I'm tired of this girl named Katie. I'm tired of everybody bringing up a narrative that Nolan stood behind because he wanted some poom poom and he wanted to get to know this girl named Katie. I'm tired of that shit, man. And then the second part, y'all want to say he just jumped in the water and just drowned. So Katie ain't take a swim with him? Nobody ain't take a little swim with Nolan. The girl he was chasing ain't jump in the water with him either. Stop it. That boy ain't jumping that water by his goddamn self. You better cut it. There's hundreds of people out there with boats. Even Nancy Grace could know. She even know that shit. These niggas is boat. That's Katie though. Let me ask y'all. That might be Katie right there on the boat. We don't even know. We still didn't get a good, and we don't even know this band. Listen, man, that's Katie on the boat. Let's get. Let's continue. This shit is crazy, man. Rest in peace to Nolan, man. The truth gonna come out, little champ. Truth gonna come out, champ.
So if I say, hey, give us any reason to think our player or anything was involved there. The issue is when he stayed on the island, he had to hitch a ride back in with somebody. And there's where the issue becomes, who did he hitch a ride back in exactly? How were these people connected to him? How did they know him? And it's not uncommon for you not to know somebody at all and just say, hey, I need to ride back in. And they say, yeah, come on, get in the boat with us. So if I say, hey, Nancy, come on, get in the boat with us, that means at that point, we're responsible for you.
But Todd, here's my issue. Again, I agree with what you said, but the critical moment is somebody had to leave him there alone for the rest of the scenario that you're describing to unfold. He had to be alone. And Todd, and I'm going to bring in the rest of the panel, I want you to hear this. That is from Anna Moore on Snapchat, and you have to listen very intently to hear what she claims is being said. Todd Terrell, United Cajun Navy, please don't move. Joining me now, Caitlin Becker, the senior national correspondent, New York Post. She is the star of New York Post Cast. New York Post Cast. That's her podcast. Caitlin, thank you for being with us. Now, according to what this Anna Moore on Snapchat has revealed, you can hear, and this is also according to the attorneys, give me my effing phone. This is Nolan reportedly talking. What the F are you doing? The friend, they claim, Tristan Shepard. I can't tell that from what I'm hearing. The friend says, get off me. Get the F off this boat. F you, bro. Now, the voice we believe is Nolan's is, give my effing phone. What the F are you doing? And then another voice, get off me. Get the F off this boat. F you. Okay. What do we know? And Caitlin Becker, joining us from New York Post, who is this mysterious friend girl? Because I want to talk to her.
I want to talk to her too, Nancy. The video is tough. The Snapchat is really tough because
We all want to talk to her. I've been saying what Katie at since day one. Hey, Nancy, we all need to get together, get a brunch, and try to figure out where the hell Katie at. Hold up, Nancy. Let's go get a brunch. Shout out to Nancy Grace for trying to say she want to talk to her too, because we all want to talk to her. We all should just go get a brunch. Hey, Katie, you want to come join us in a brunch over here? We got you. Bill's on us. Let's get her loopy. Let's give her a few little drinks, get her a little loopy. Oh, she'll start talking. Hey, Katie, we're going to invite you to a brunch because we all want to ask you, who are you? Where you from? What's going on? And why are you all over everybody's narrative? You on a Coast Guard narrative. You on a Navy SEAL narrative. You on the sheriff. The sheriff ain't got no goddamn clue. The sheriff ain't even got no, he ain't got nothing going on. So maybe you're a distraction to the sheriff. We don't know what's going on. The governor act like he don't know nothing. The governor in Mississippi. Katie, can we all just go get a brunch and try to get to know you and see what the hell is going on? Because this shit doesn't make no sense, bro. This shit doesn't make no sense. Let's continue, man.
You do clearly
doing. And then another voice, get off me. Get the F off this boat. F you. Okay. What do we know? And Caitlin Becker, joining us from New York Post, who is this mysterious friend girl? Because I want to talk to her.
I want to talk to her too, Nancy. The video is tough. The Snapchat is really tough because you do clearly hear an angry altercation. There is the assumption that we're working off of that it is Nolan. However, a few other friends have confirmed it's not Nolan. There's actually someone who said it was me, not him. So you have someone coming forward saying that is not him on the video. So then did no altercation actually take place, or is someone jumping in saying that's me to misdirect or to redirect us from looking at it? That's the one question. The other question that you asked is who's the girl? Her name is apparently, allegedly, Katie. That's kind of all we know, just Katie. Someone purporting to be related to Katie went on social media, and this is not something that we've been able to confirm, nor have investigators confirmed it. But according to this person, Katie said, we met, we talked, he seemed like he was going back on the boat with his friends, and that was that. So Katie.
Okay, hold on
Katie's
right
side of
there.
the story-
Caitlin Becker. Caitlin. Right there. The girl, if she exists, says they talked, they chatted it up, probably flirting with each other, if accounts are true. Then he leaves to go back to the boat with his friends. But according to the friends, he stayed with her. Right there, that is a conflict. That doesn't fit. Now, Caitlin Becker and
Shout out to Nancy Grace for breaking that shit down. Because if you got a girl named Katie and that's the last person with that person, we all watch Law and Order, Unsolved Mysteries. We watch all 48 Hours. We watch all them type of goddamn shows. Who they go to? The last person that was with that individual, right? Am I right or wrong? So why the hell we ain't got Katie all over this internet? Why the hell we ain't get an interview with Katie? That's the last individual allegedly that was with him. She gave a statement. Yeah, you know, he said he was going back with the boys, but the boys said that he left with Katie. Katie don't even exist, man. This woman don't exist. This girl don't exist. She don't exist, y'all. Ain't no Katie. I was about to say that. Ain't no Katie. Ain't no Katie. They just spent the narrative with that. Let's continue, though. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel.
I don't have a ruling from the medical examiner. It should be apparent if drowning was the COD, cause of death. That should be very apparent.
Come on, gang, man. Let's get come on. Let's get 500 likes. Come on, man. Let's get 500 likes. Let's get 500 likes, man. Let's get 500 likes in the build. He said Law and Order is the heat of the night. I'm trying to tell you. We all watch Law and Order, Ice-T, old ads. You know, Ice-T go interview the first person that was with the last person. Yeah, you was with the last person that night. Yeah, I was with her. Yeah, you know, I don't know what happened though. You know, this and that. You know, we was all just drinking. So what the hell was going on that day? You know, Ice-T get them little short on clip. You get about Ice-T get you about 10 words in Law and Order. Shout out to Ice-T. Shout out to Onk, man. You know how everybody else, they be having a whole paragraph of the show and shit. They got a whole sentence, whatever, paragraph. Man, Ice-T give you about 2 sentences. Ice-T. Shout out to Ice-T, though. Ice-T get that Law and Order money, man, for real. Every show he in, nigga, he under arrest. That nigga give you short ass words and short sentences. That should be funny as hell. From the 3 boys, the judge, the sheriff, everybody had a part in it. Nolan unalive body need to be locked up and key and thrown away. That's a fact, Minnie Parker. New York Undercover. Oh, I forgot about New York Undercover. Come on, man. Let's get 500 likes, gang. We got 466 likes. Let's get 500 before we continue. Hashtag where Katie. That's what we need to start putting. Where's Katie? Hashtag. Maybe she'll pop up out the bush. I don't know. Ice-T get you about 3 words. For real, JD5. Remember when Mike F said that shit? That nigga had me crying when he said that shit. He said, why all the friends get lawyered up and not say shit, please don't take them to jail like they do us. That's a fact. That's a fact, Devon. He said, if it was within the first 48, it should be downtown. No, No, it shouldn't be no excuses. It should be downtown. He said, hold on, Quinn said, why we ain't got Katie last name. That's that part. That's why I'm thinking we're gonna call her Katie Waldo. We don't know what the hell this girl at, to be honest. But we hear her goddamn name all over the place. Katie Waldo, man. We gotta, I don't know where Katie at. Y'all playing Katie clear herself. Katie ain't getting no lawyer, according to that's the narrative too. Let's get a couple more likes in the building. Let's get 500 likes, man. Katie probably in somewhere attic hiding. I don't know where that girl at. Make the shirt smoke. I'm trying to tell you, right? Where's Katie, right? That shit is bugged up. I don't know where that girl at. I know I'm getting tired of hearing that girl name. I'll tell you one thing. All right, man. Let's get like 6, 8 more likes, man. Appreciate that. Smash that like, that hype, and subscribe to the channel. Cash App is in the banner. Super chat. As always, get your membership, Team Smoke, man. Join the chat. Y'all already know what to do. But let's continue, man. Let's get them likes up to 500, man. Let's continue with this Nancy Grace. Now, she brought somebody on a show that actually does forensic and all that type of shit. That's why she said, listen, I don't got the body, but I brought somebody on the show that can actually try to explain to us a little bit more. Peep this shit out. Katie smooth as hell. Yeah, I said Katie. Look, I'm over here thinking about Katie and shit. Yo, Katie, where you at, man? I meant to say Nancy. Slay God said Katie smooth as ice. I'm over. You got me over there. Katie smooth as hell. I don't know where the hell Katie at. Katie Ghost.
Dr. Kendall Crowns, thank you for being with us. Okay, I don't have a ruling from the medical examiner. It should be apparent if drowning was the COD, cause of death. That should be very apparent by simply autopsying the lungs. Also, you'd know immediately if there were signs of trauma. I've seen the photos of his body on the beach. But as Todd Terrell from United Cajun Navy stated, the body was...
Shout out to Quan for the $5 super chat. He said, pull up that picture, man. When Nolan looking at the woman, that woman's the judge. She was doing something with him, allegedly. And the husband and friends did it. We heard that narrative. They were spinning that narrative too. I heard that narrative too, Quan. I ain't gonna hold you. I heard that shit. And I won't put it past. Because listen, don't get it twisted. Just because a lady's married and they a little older than an 18-year-old and all that. Y'all niggas, we all been there, nigga. We all had that cougar, that old head. That old head look at you, nigga. You be like, yeah, you be like, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm old enough now. I could see that. I could see that with Nolan. He tall, 6'1", athlete, know what I mean? Look like, know what I mean? Know what I mean? Pause, know what I mean? Handsome little young man, whatever, keep himself. His family come from a good background, got the good clothes and all that. I could see that happening. I could see a lot of them cougars probably want, nah, man. You get what I'm saying, Quan? I could see that. I could see that shit. And who was we to say Nolan wasn't he wasn't on little player? Rest in peace, man. He said maybe after autopsy there'll be a rest tomorrow. I hope so. He said them cougars love. That's what I'm saying. Them cougars love a YN. And Nolan, he ain't your average YN. Nolan, rest in peace. He Filipino and black, nigga. And that, I mean, yeah. Them cougars probably was curious. And he a good athlete, 6'1". Got a little name in school and all that. I can see that. Allegedly. I can see that. Hit that like button, gang. Do me that favor. Let's continue, though.
It was face down, so I couldn't see the face, the neck, the arms, the hands for defensive wounds. I couldn't see if there were bruises to the torso. I couldn't see if the skull was fractured. None of that. I couldn't see if teeth were missing. But it seems to me if those exhibited, we would know there had been blunt force trauma, stabbing, shooting, manual or ligature asphyxiation. We would know that. But yet, we know nothing. So, to me, that would rule out drowning or trauma. Are they waiting on toxicology? Is that what they're waiting on? And why would the body have been sent for an independent autopsy? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But what's going on, Dr. Kendall Crowns?
Okay, To start with, he was in the water for several days. I'm sure the water in that area is warm, so his body is going to be decomposing. He'll have skin slippage. He's going to have bloating from the decompositional gases and then purge fluid coming out of his mouth.
And I can understand that. We all spoke about that. But see, my thing hard to believe that his body was out there for a day and a half, and like we said this about 30 minutes ago. You telling me no sharks, no alligators, whatever's out there in that water, they didn't take a bite of that body while it was just floating in the water for a day and a half? We're talking about a whole day and a half, y'all. Then in 2 days, his body was out there. That's very yo, bro. Listen. It's either God was on his side when his body was floating and it just washed back on the sand, which I don't believe. I'm gonna continue saying that. That shit is a miracle. Your body out there for a day and a half just floating. Remind you, you're not alive. Your body, I mean, it might sink in, it might go down. Your body might go down after a while. Come on, man. That's why Nancy's asking these questions like that. Because Nancy, like, how the hell his body just end up being in the same, it popped up in the same surface where he allegedly where he was at before and face down? That looked like more somebody put the body there face down and placed it like that. That's what it looked like. I can't wait till they bring the pictures out and all that because you can tell by pictures if they ain't tamper that shit. Let's continue. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for the people that just joined in.
Mouth and other
Toxicology? Is that what they're waiting on? And why would the body have been sent for an independent autopsy? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But what's going on, Dr. Kendall Crowns?
Okay, to start with, he was in the water for several days. I'm sure the water in that area is warm, so his body is going to be decomposing. He'll have skin slippage. He's going to have bloating from the decompositional gases and then purge fluid coming out of his mouth and other orifices. So then you also probably have post-mortem animal scavenging or marine aquatic life scavenging that can create marks on the body as well. So at autopsy, your question, wouldn't you be able to see the evidence of injury? Yes, you should still be able to see injuries, bruises, stab wounds, gunshot wounds, all that, even in decomposition, can still be seen, can still be determined.
So he's saying, even with your body all messed up, being in the water and all that, if somebody put hands on you, abused, stabbed you, punched you, clap, boned you, whatever, he said, according to him, this is his profession. He's saying you can absolutely see that still on the body, even if the body was out there for 2 days, a day and a half. Very interesting. Let's continue.
He slippage. He's going to have bloating from the decompositional gases and then purge fluid coming out of his mouth and other orifices. So then you also probably have post-mortem animal scavenging or marine aquatic life scavenging that can create marks on the body as well. So at autopsy, your question, wouldn't you be able to see the evidence of injury? Yes, you should still be able to see injuries, bruises, stab wounds, gunshot wounds, all that, even in decomposition, can still be seen, can still be determined. It doesn't sound like he's been consumed by aquatic life to the point that he's skeletonized and the front of his body. So my assumption is you would still be able to see injuries. Now they have not given a definitive cause and manner of death yet, because to me that means there's no obvious signs of injuries or no obvious cause of death. Because drowning, yes, the lungs can swell and be heavy with fluid, but this can also happen with drug overdoses. So differentiating a drowning.
Here we go. Then I tell you they're gonna try to, I'm telling y'all, tomorrow, I don't even I want the independent autopsy tomorrow, but I'm very curious on what Ocean Springs gonna come out with. Jackson County. I'm very curious on what they're gonna say. Did this kid take a drug? He panicked. But see, there's a rebuttal for that. If he took anything allegedly, Somebody obviously gave it to him. Number one. Number two, you telling me he just panicked in front of his friends and just jumped in the water and just drowned by himself? Number three, why nobody didn't see him panicking in the water and see him jumping in the water? Why they didn't go rescue him? That's number three. So then number four, his own friends watch him drown. I sit back and wait. Since y'all want to say it was a drowning. That's why I said we got a rebuttal for the drowning. Because I could straight break down, ask you questions about the drowning also. You're not gonna tell me that this kid just ran out there with hundreds of people out there and he just drowned by himself. No. Remember y'all said he was with Katie, a female? Who he was with? Why they didn't go save him? Who gave him the drug? Allegedly. It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense. Because if y'all gonna say he drowned in the water, well, his friends was all standing out there. Why they ain't go rescue him? Nobody know he jumped in the water? That's impossible. Oh, block your ass. You swear you was getting some fan. You're boring. You're boring. You watching me. You probably boring. You probably in the goddamn bathroom taking a poo-poo and you watching me, Nick. Whoever he, she, whoever the hell you are, because I already blocked you. You're boring. You're boring. What you want me to play? Homicide detective over here? And what you want me to do? Exactly. Get your goofy ass on there. I already blocked. Hey, mods, man, y'all gotta be faster than me. I be on the mods. Come on, mods. Y'all gotta be fast on these weirdos and these, you know what I mean, these goofies in the chat, man. Let's continue though. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Let's continue with this. You're boring. You're boring. That's why I got your ass out there. Go make another account now.
From a drug overdose is difficult.
No.
Of injuries or no obvious cause of death because drowning, yes, the lungs can swell and be heavy with fluid, but this can also happen with drug overdoses. So differentiating a drowning from a drug overdose is difficult.
No.
So you
No. No. Yes.
well, I don't know how.
Let's go, Nancy. Let's go, Nancy. You see how dude said, yeah, it can happen by overdose also. You could have an overdose, probably took a drug and his body probably floated and all this. You see how he broke that down? Nancy said, no, 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 no. Shout out to Nancy Grace, man. Let's continue.
How many autopsies means there's no obvious signs of injuries or no obvious cause of death because drowning, yes, the lungs can swell and be heavy with fluid, but this can also happen with drug overdoses. So differentiating a drowning from a drug overdose is difficult.
No.
So you
No. No. Yes.
well, I don't know how
It
many
would
autopsies
exhibit,
of
manifest
drownings
in
you've
the
done,
same.
but I've done a lot. So
Absolutely
continue
zero.
on,
But I
please.
don't need to have my MD or be the lecturer at Burnett School of Medicine to know that if the lungs are full, and it could be drowning or fluid caused
Drug
by an
overdose.
overdose. Can't you get the fluid and test it?
So testing of the fluid from the lungs there's nothing to test for. What you're going to look for is the pulmonary edema or fluid in the lungs. You're going to try and differentiate a drug overdose from drowning with a toxicologic study, which is what they're doing, and that can
Full and NO.
death yet. Given a definitive cause and manner of death yet, because to me that means there's no obvious signs of injuries or no obvious cause of death. Because drowning, yes, the lungs can swell and be heavy with fluid, but this can also happen with drug overdoses. So differentiating a drowning from a drug overdose is difficult.
No.
So you
No. NO. Yes.
well, I don't know how
It
many.
would
Hey, shout out to Nancy. Yeah. Hey, hey, yeah. Oh shit, yo! I'm telling you, Nancy crazy. That shit's hilarious. How she broke that shit. She said no. No, yes, but no. Shout out to Zane for the 10. Oh, shout out to Zane with that 10 gems gold on coin, man. Oh shit, yo. Shout out to Nancy, because Nancy know that ain't the case, bro. That's not the case. Like Nancy, yo, that shit is hilarious. Let's go, man. My bad, y'all. That shit has got me rolling. Y'all know me. I'm on, man. That shit got me. No, no, yes, but no. Let's go.
Would exhibit
Autopsies of cause of death. So you,
no, no, no.
well,
Yes,
I don't know how
it
many
would
autopsies
exhibit,
of drownings
manifest in
you've
the
done,
same.
but I've done a lot. So
Absolutely
continue on,
zero, but I
please.
don't need to have my MD or be the lecturer at Burnett School of Medicine to know that if the lungs are full, and it could be drowning or fluid caused
Drug
by an
overdose.
overdose. Can't you get the fluid and test it?
So testing of the fluid from the lungs there's nothing to test for. What you're going to look for is the pulmonary edema or fluid in the lungs. You're going to try and differentiate a drug overdose from drowning with a toxicologic study, which is what they're doing, and that can take up to 6 to 8 weeks. Drowning is a diagnosis of exclusion because it can mimic so many other things, including a drug overdose. You want to rule those things out before you determine cause and manner of death. And that's probably what they're doing. They're making sure he didn't overdose before they make the decision that he drowned. Now, the second autopsy being done, that's just the family obviously has no confidence in the local medical examiner / coroner system, and they've sent it to an independent person to do a second autopsy. Not uncommon, especially in cases that are more high profile or there's some sort of dispute, and they send it to an independent person to do a second autopsy to see what they can find. And from my knowledge, the information on that still isn't out yet. So they're also probably trying to find out what the toxicologic studies are going to show before they make a decision. So right now we're kind of pending on what drugs he has on board before they make a cause and manner of death statement.
Y'all really think y'all think this kid was high off of something? I think we're gonna get an autopsy saying that because we getting an independent one tomorrow. Y'all think it's gonna come out saying that he had some type of drug substance in his system? But like I said, that doesn't mean that who gave it to him. If he had any type of drug in him, which I don't believe, who gave it to him though, and why they watch him drown? Yeah, a lot of people don't want to believe it. A lot of people saying no, no, no. A lot of people saying no. They said they still left him die. That's what I said, JD5. So we could rebuttal with that, JD. You get what I'm saying? If y'all want to say he took something, bugged out, jumped in the water, whatever, panicked, drowned, whatever, why them little niggas ain't gonna help him? So they just sat there, recorded, laughing and shit, thinking this shit funny. Cause I could see that happening. Oh, yo, look at him. He can't swim. He's struggling. Ha ha ha. If that's the case. So they still guilty by watching that kid drown, that part. And I said, back. Y'all ain't gonna help y'all man. If he took something in panic, or if he wasn't with y'all, whoever he was with, y'all ain't gonna help him. That ain't the case. That ain't the case. That ain't the case. Let's continue. Hell no, that ain't the case. Because if he wasn't with them, if he was with others, why y'all didn't help that boy in that water? There's no way in the world nobody didn't see that boy in that water if he took a drug and he panicked and jumped in the water. Yeah, nobody don't believe it. A lot of people saying they don't believe he took a drug. He said, yeah, he get charged with somebody OD on your watch. That part, come on, Brandy, we know. That's like niggas on the corner selling that smack out there and that fentanyl, and they sell it to somebody OD. You think they ain't getting locked up? Or police and the feds, they all coming to get your ass, nigga. They want to find out where the hell you get that shit from because somebody OD. Now you got to go to jail for that shit. That's the same case. Drug dealer in the pool. That's what I said. You know, I got that picture. Let's continue though.
Dr. Kendall Crowns, I understand, and I also understand your explanation regarding the potential drowning fluid in the lungs. as opposed to or compared to the fluid in the lungs if there had been an overdose. If he's found right there, face down, it looked to me like in the surf, not out in the water floating, but up on the beach. So even if that was the least of it, the water still would have gone into his nose and mouth.
Hello. She's saying, because remember when Nancy in the beginning said she got a picture of Nolan laying down, but she didn't want to show the public? Nancy got a picture of when they came, they got him, they found him, whatever. She got that picture. That's what she's breaking down. She's saying his body is all by the sand and all by the shore, but he would still get water because that shit is coming. I mean, y'all get what I'm saying? That's what she breaking down. They placed his body there. Absolutely. They placed his body just like this, face down, and I don't care what nobody say, bro. I don't care. Let's continue with her, though.
Not out in the water, fluid in the lungs, as opposed to or compared to the fluid in the lungs if there had been an overdose. If he's found right there, face down, it looked to me like in the surf, not out in the water floating, but up on the beach. So even if that was the least of it, the water still would have gone into his nose and mouth. If he were alive, he could have inhaled it or ingested it, even if a drug overdose was the true COD, which would require, I guess what, Dr. Krause, a dual finding of drowning and OD. And I'll just state for the record, let it be noted in the record, that I have never performed an autopsy, but I'm glad you pointed that out. So what about...
Do me a favor, for the people that just joined us, smash that like button. We got over 1,400 people in the building tonight. Smash the like button. Do me that favor. Support the channel by smashing that free like button. You could get your membership, join Team Smoke, but smash the like button. Do me that favor. Let's get 600 likes in the building at least. Let's get 1,000 likes. Come on, man. Let's continue.
What about the fluid in the lungs? And I'll just state for the record, let it be noted in the record, that I have never performed an autopsy, but I'm glad you pointed that out. So what about the fluid in the lungs if there had been an OD? And by the way, there is no suggestion that drugs were used that day. None whatsoever.
Exactly, because nobody came and Mr. Big Bad Wolf, Mr. Sheriff over here, we can't get no interviews and nothing. We don't know what type of drug these people was on because the sheriff ain't doing his goddamn job. So we don't even know if these people was taking drugs or not, allegedly. But we all know they was getting loopy. Come on, man. Mr. Sheriff, you got to go do your job. Was these young adults taking drugs? Did Nolan take a drug? Who he got the drug from? Hello. If y'all want to say that he panicked and OD'd and jumped in the water, who he got it from? You can't make this shit up, man. Let's continue. Smash that like button, man. Let's get 1,000 likes, man. Because we not even done. We ain't even get to the unlocked character. Oh, we got another unlocked character that said he seen Nolan on the island. Oh, his classmate, aka I guess one of his friends. But let's finish off with Nancy because this shit is crazy to me, bro.
But that said, about the fluid in the lungs if there had been an OD. And by the way, there is no suggestion that drugs were used that day. None whatsoever. But that said, you're saying that there would be no difference in the fluid found in his lungs.
So with a drowning, you're going into heart failure at some point from the anoxia created or the lack of oxygen to the brain created by the drowning because there's no air and water. And that causes your body to shut down, which causes fluid to back up and causes pulmonary edema or swelling of the lungs. The same process happens in a drug overdose. But when you're drowning and you're inhaling that water, you get some water in your lungs as well, but you're also swallowing and gulping it, throwing back up, and then swallowing and gulping it again. So you'll have water in your stomach that you can look for in a drowning, not always. And sometimes you'll get water in an area in your sinus cavity called the sphenoid sinus as well. But the pulmonary edema created by drowning looks exactly like the pulmonary edema created by a drug overdose. So you can't really differentiate the two of those. And that's why the drug testing is so important. And yes, you are correct. If drugs come back on board, like let's just say fentanyl, it would be part 1 drowning, part 2 fentanyl toxicity, and then manner would be accident. So it's going to be a drowning no matter what. But is there going to be a toxicology component added on? And that's probably what they're working on as we speak.
I can't wait till tomorrow morning to find out what the hell they got. I really can't wait. I'm gonna be up early, got my coffee. I'm gonna be up early, rise and shine, nigga. Yeah, wake and bake coffee, all that, nigga. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. Because I want to see what they're gonna come up with. And it's crazy because I was actually more interested on Ocean Springs autopsy. I wanted to see what they doing over there in Mississippi. But see, Ben Crump, like, nah, man, y'all taking too long over there, brothers. Like, nah, we ain't got time for that. So Ben Crump and them, they pushing it. They coming out what they got. They gonna come out what they found. They gonna come out what they seen. They gonna come out what's going on, according to them. I can't wait. I'm really curious. I can't wait. Yeah, I hope that's why I said I hope there ain't no drugs. But shit, I won't be surprised Ocean Springs say, yeah, he had drugs in the system. I won't be surprised they say that over there in Mississippi. Yeah, he had a little drugs in the system. I will not be surprised. Shit is bugged out, man. How many likes we got? 664. Let's get them likes up to 700, gang. Come on. Let's continue, man. Let's get to Judge Mathis. Y'all know Judge Mathis, right? I used to watch this show. That nigga was bugged out. That nigga called everybody a crackhead. Hey, yo, shout out to Judge Mathis, man. He called everybody a crackhead. He said, y'all see your crackhead ways over there. Shout out to Judge Mathis, man. That dude was bugged out when he had his TV show. That nigga called everybody a crackhead. I swear to God. You had crackhead ways. He called you. He said, I see your crackhead ways. Hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie. At all court shows, judge court shows, Judge Mathis, that shit was the funniest one to me. I literally used to be smoking, watching Judge Mathis crying, yo. That dude would, he used to call everybody a crackhead on his show. You had crackhead ways, he called you a crackhead. He said, I come from Detroit. I know crackheads when I see them. Hey, yo, shout out to Judge Mathis, man. But he had something to say about this shit. Yo, that dude used to have me crying when I used to watch him back in the days. I ain't gonna front. I used to roll up. I was like, yo, Judge Mathis bugged out, man. But let's get to Judge Mathis right quick before we get to the unlocked character that said he seen Nolan on the island also, all of a sudden. But let's get to Judge Mathis, man. Let's get to Judge Mathis right quick, see what he got to say. Because that's the judge.
I'm leaving. You all go back. I'm staying by myself. No friends, just me wandering around. And then you see that he had left his cell phone. So you say, in the boat. And instead of taking it back to a friend who's on the island by himself, and by the way, did you ask him how he was getting home? So instead of going back, you couldn't be that far off because the phone right in the boat. Say an hour or two. If you're a real friend, you'll drive back on that recreational hour or two on the boat having fun to give your man his phone. Because if he's out there by himself, no question about it, 90% white in the state of Mississippi that has a history of demonizing and black men and killing them in the civil rights era. Most of the civil rights killings occurred in Mississippi, including Medgar Evers, including our dear young brother, from Mississippi who was killed, and several others. And so we know that Mississippi has a history of demonizing and marginalizing black men.
Shout out to Judge Mathis for giving his thoughts. Yeah, well, y'all want to go see the full interview? He talk about other shit, but if I ain't mistaken, I think that's the Art of Dialogue of Can Capone. But let's get to this unlocked character. Now I want to say he's a classmate. I guess he went to school with Nolan. According to him, he said Nolan was loopy. Now we all know they was drinking out there. See, the reason why I'm breaking this up, the reason why I'm gonna show y'all this, I don't know if y'all seen this, but the narrative coming from them, they keep saying that Nolan was loopy or he was on some type of drug. We don't hear that from Javon. We didn't hear that from his black friend Javon and anybody else that's seen him on this side. But when it comes to that side, they always coming up saying that that wasn't him in the video, or he was loopy, or he was there. Like they always come with a narrative on that side. Now, this is a classmate from his community college, I guess. And look what he had to say. I'm telling you, they're spinning the narrative to him, allegedly. And everything I say is alleged.
Nolan Wells alive is speaking. The last people to see Nolan Wells alive is speaking out to.
Now, they saying this kid is the last person that's seen Nolan Wells alive. Y'all just heard that, right? Look how he look. Y'all just heard a person say, according to him, he's the last person that's seen Nolan Wells alive. Because I guess he's a friend of Nolan Wells, and they went to, they go to community college, whatever, together. I'm looking at the face. Y'all dig what I'm saying? I'm looking at the face. Do you really got Nolan back? Mama Love, do you know this dude? Hold up. We need Mama Love to hit the platform somewhere because we got all these so-called friends popping up saying they seen all of a sudden Nolan wasn't in the video. Now all of a sudden he's seen Nolan on it. You see, that's why I bring this video up. Because remember when Shepard, his other friend, said Nolan wasn't in that video? That's him arguing. Remember when we heard that from Shepard, the other friend? Hello. Remember with the college, the assistant black coach, we thought he was the head coach, but he's the assistant coach. Remember he said, yeah, I seen that video a couple of times, Nah, I ain't seen Nolan in that video. Remember he said he ain't seen Nolan in the video either? Remember a couple other people said they ain't seen Nolan? Now all of a sudden we got a person out of the blue, Mama Love. Do you know this dude? He's coming out saying he's the last person that seen Nolan on the island. And Nolan was kind of loopy and kind of drunk. Oh, we're gonna get to it. I just want to show y'all his face stuff. Let's continue. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. You can't make this shit up.
The last people to see Nolan Wells alive is speaking out to Inside Edition today. 18-year-old Nolan vanished during 4th of July celebrations on an island off the coast of Mississippi. His body washed up 2 days later.
There were so many people. I mean, boats, they were like on top of each other almost. Like, I mean, it was intense.
Lucas.
Y'all know I got to pause it on certain things. I want y'all to let that marinate in your brain. There were so many boats. Remember the video we seen, the first one, you see mad boats, they next to each other. There was so many boats and people. Let that marinate. Let that marinate in your brain. There were so many boats. And I ain't going by what he's saying. We've been seeing that shit. But I try to explain to people, boats all next to each other, and there's people all next to each other on them boats and in the water. How nobody else didn't see Nolan? Let's continue. But all of a sudden, we get a classmate. Yeah, I'm the last person that's seen Nolan. This guy right here, allegedly. Let's continue, man.
The last people to see Nolan Wells alive is speaking out to Inside Edition today. 18-year-old Nolan vanished during 4th of July celebrations on an island off the coast of Mississippi. His body washed up 2 days later.
There were so many people. I mean, boats, they were like on top of each other almost, like, I mean, it was intense.
Lucas Aviz is a college classmate of Nolan at Southwest Mississippi Community College. He says he went to Horn Island with his family and friends on a different boat and ran into Nolan there.
I'd say
That supposed to be allegedly a video of him and his family on the boat, I guess, that day. Right here, y'all. You see, that's him on the boat. So that's him and his family, I guess, that day on 4th of July. Let's continue.
Different. Lucas Aviz is a college classmate of Nolan at Southwest Mississippi Community College. He says he went to Horn Island with his family and friends on a different boat and ran into Nolan there.
I'd say he's pretty hammered. He would slur his words. His movement was slow.
Nolan and 3 friends had arrived on.
You heard what he said? He said he was pretty hammered. Y'all know the word hammer, right? If y'all don't know what hammer mean, well, let me put y'all what hammer mean. Loopy, nigga. That's what that shit mean. AKA loopy. You getting loopy with the gang and all that. Yo, man, pass that Hennessy, man. Let me get some of that Remy over there, man. That's what hammer mean. Yo, let me get some of that Patron over there. That's what hammer mean. So according to this classmate, he said that the last time he seen Nolan, he was kind of hammered. Hello. What's going on here, man? Let's continue. Hold on, how many likes we got? Let's get 1,000 likes in the building. For the people that's coming in, man, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I don't know what the hell y'all waiting on. Grab your membership, Team Smoke also.
Horn Island.
He would slur his words.
Nolan there.
I want y'all to hear that. He said that he was slurring his words. He was hammered. According to the last person that seen Nolan. Mama Love, do you know this dude? Let's continue.
There.
I'd say
family and friends on a different boat and ran into Nolan there.
I'd say he's pretty hammered. He would slur his words. His movement was slow.
Nolan and 3 friends had arrived on Horn Island at around 11 a.m. According to authorities, the friends say they left around 4:30 p.m., but they say Nolan told them that he was staying behind. According to reports, he had met a young lady and wanted to hang out with her. Lucas says he was devastated when he heard later that night that his friend was missing.
He may have been taken by the current, and I'm guessing he drowned. There's a certain part of the island where the current is pretty strong.
Inside.
He just said the same thing the Navy, Cajun, Navy, whatever, SEAL, whatever they call themselves. Remember when the guy was talking at the beginning of the video? Yeah, there's a certain part over there with the water, with the tides is a little bit high. It could go from 3 to 4 feet, and then all of a sudden it could drop to 20 feet. He just said the same thing. Let me ask you a question, young man. I understand you probably from there, but how the hell you know? Can I ask you something, Jose? How you know? Because you said the exact same thing that the guy that on that Nancy Grace interview. Yeah, it could get to 3 to 4 feet. You know what I mean? The tides and all that could drop to 20 feet. How you know, Jose? And I understand they probably was born and raised there, whatever. But how you really know that? Let's continue. Well, Nolan classmate, the last person that seen Nolan.
Edition cameras return to Horn Island. It's an uninhabited barrier island.
The current is pretty strong, and I'm guessing he drowned. There's a certain part of the island where the current is pretty strong.
Inside Edition cameras return to Horn Island. It's an uninhabited barrier island in the Gulf and a favorite destination for teens who want to party. There are also dangerous currents. This video shows how crowded the island was that day. No matter how it came about, nothing can take away the pain of Nolan's family or the tragedy of a young man who died too soon.
All of a sudden, we got a dude that's the last person that's seen Nolan. Oh man, yo, you can't make this shit up, man. You really can't make this shit up, gang. You really can't. All right, what we got here, man? But like I said, Nancy Grace, she gonna find out the truth. That's why she broke that shit down the way she was breaking that shit down. Cause I don't care what nobody said. Let me see if I got that second video. I think it's right here. Hold up.
Person on TikTok that goes by Riley Lively
Notice again how
posted
tide
this
is
video,
low and the boats
and the
and
picture
people had
going
to
around
reposition
of Nolan
themselves.
bending over was also in her video. I don't know, I don't think it looks like him. And the picture where he's bending over, people are saying they think could be him. But this is her video. She was saying that how the tides go high, it's easy for someone to drown, and that
That's bullshit. Even though the tides go high by all them boats, there's hundreds of people around there. And that definitely didn't look like Nolan in that other picture. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know who the hell that was. Maybe we might be wrong. I don't know. Sometimes pictures be, but if he drowned right there, you telling me all them people ain't see him? That's bullshit. And that's the narrative they want to throw at us, man.
the person him video.
That don't look like Nolan. That's AI right there. Y'all think that's an AI picture? Oh, that's just somebody else. That look like a nigga named Ray Ray or some shit like that. Pookie. And you see how they put it. You see how they got the same trunks as Nolan in the first picture. This shit crazy. And this is off somebody's video, but I don't know if they put this as AI in their video. That don't look like no. Yeah, that don't look like him either. I said the same thing. That don't look. If this video, I remember this video, but I don't remember this part. But I think they zoomed in on a part that, because this part is kind of far. So if somebody zoomed in, and we got a clear vision of that individual. That definitely don't look like Nolan. He's bigger than Nolan. Yeah, that nigga big as hell. Let's continue though.
I picture going around of Nolan bending over was also in her video. I don't know, I don't think it looks like him.
Bending down right there, that's supposed to be Nolan right here at the end of this boat. Pause. You see him bending down? Remember, that's the second video. This is the second video that we got yesterday, the day before that. And remember, they say that's Katie father's boat. That's supposed to be the Mac Daddy, Big Daddy, Little Daddy, whatever. Because you see the name on the boat. I still got the picture. I don't know, man. They spinning a lot of narratives, bro.
And the picture where he's bending over, picture.
I don't think that's him either. You see, that's a black kid right there by the girl. Y'all think that's him? You got two white kids right there, and you could clearly see that's somebody that's either a black kid or something, and you can clearly see that's a girl right by them, right by that kid with his circles on. Y'all think that's Nolan? He said that look like an adult right there. Remember, there was other black people on the land also on the island. You can't tell.
Where he's bending over, people are saying they think could be him. But this is her video. She was saying that how the tides go high, it's easy for someone to drown, and that the person is walking out with a blonde girl. But that's the picture that everyone is saying. He is on the boat next to Katie's dad.
Bro, there's mad people. Look at all them people back there, champs. Look at all them boats, yo. That's why I had to show y'all this shit. I'm like, yo, because this video shows mad people out there. Look, see, they just show every video we get, we always see like the little part, like whoever's around them, whoever's surrounded them around that water. But this video, when I seen this, I was like, yo, look at the back of this shit. Look at all them people back there. And nobody don't know what the hell happened. Y'all know y'all done effed up, right? Y'all know y'all done effed up, right? Too many people, JD. That's why I had to show you that shit, champ. Look at all them people. Mad boats. Expensive boats, too, as that. We ain't talking about 1950s. Half of these boats got cameras on their boats, outside cameras, inside cameras. Man, these are expensive boats out there. Mad people out there, bro. I had to show y'all this video. I said, yo, look at all the goddamn people out there. We just don't know what time this video was actually taken. That's the whole problem.
Next to Katie's dad.
Look at all the flags. 250 years in America. Look at all the people out there, niggas. There's no way. All them people, bro. Look at all them boats, them people in the water. And we just seeing people in the water. You know how many people are all around there? And nobody don't know nothing about Nolan? You gotta be shitting me. Come on, let's get them likes up. Let's get 1,000 likes in the building, man. Do me that favor. Let's get 800 to 1,000, man. Let's get some likes up. You gotta be shitting me with all them people. You see all them people out there, and you telling me nobody don't know what happened to that boy? I'm gonna let y'all look at this goddamn picture for a quick second. Give me 1 second. Look how many people out there on that island, gang. All them goddamn people, and then you telling me nobody don't know what happened to Nolan. You gotta be shitting me. Let's continue, man.
We still don't know who Katie is or what Katie looks like. I stitched her videos together. She doesn't say a source or have any timestamps, and I scoured the internet.
Year-old Nolan Wells as they continue to demand answers about his death. Wells was found dead about 2 weeks ago following a boat trip with friends on the 4th of July. But what exactly happened still remains unclear. MS Now reporter Britt Miller has the very latest.
Yes, he knows my name.
Songs of comfort resounding inside this Mississippi church.
He knows my name.
As hundreds gathered to honor the life of Nolan Wells, the 18-year-old college football player found dead after a boat trip with friends on July 4th.
Hold him close in your hearts. Share his stories and never stop saying his name.
His heartbroken mother, Christine, describing her son as having a gentle and calm spirit. She was joined by her husband, Nolan's father, Elmore Wansley, their attorney, Benjamin Crump, and Reverend Al Sharpton, who delivered the eulogy.
Somebody saw something and knows something.
It's been about 2 weeks since Wells was last seen alive. His mother says on the 4th, he went with friends to Mississippi's Horn Island, which is only accessible by boat. She says people in the group then claim he chose to stay behind to talk to a woman. Wells's mother later reports him missing, activating a search. July 6th, Wells's body is found in the area. And 2 weeks later, there are still more questions than answers.
Well, I would want to know first and foremost, give me the timeline between when these young men were last with Nolan Wells. Who was the last person to see him? I'd like to see text messages, any communications that occurred between what the estimated time of death it was.
The family wants to know why Wells didn't have his phone, saying it was traced back to the mainland. Then there's the conflicting witness accounts.
And then you have the young lady make a statement and she says, well, Nolan and I finished talking and Nolan said he was going back to the boat. And then the boys on the boat said, no, Nolan told them he was going to stay with her. So which is it? And all we know is Nolan is dead.
Though local law enforcement is still investigating, officials quickly stated there was no evidence of foul play. Both official and independent autopsy results have not been released.
I think all of that should raise eyebrows and a special amount of scrutiny from the public. And one of the things that people are somewhat ignoring or downplaying is, look, we're talking about the state of Mississippi here.
We cannot say it was racist, but we cannot say it was not racist. So let's not judge either way until all the evidence is in.
But even after the case is closed, this Mississippi family will be changed forever.
Your absence has left an emptiness that can never truly be filled. A piece of our hearts will always be missing.
The funeral was paid for by media mogul Tyler Perry. He and Reverend Al Sharpton are now offering a total of $100,000 for any information leading to an arrest or conviction in this case. Back to you.
MS Now's Britt Miller with that report. And Rev, of course, we saw you there. Tell us what you know about the latest on the investigation, but also about what you've learned about the life of Nolan Wells.
Well, I learned a lot. His parents came to Harlem to National Action Network with Attorney Crump last week. He was a young man, a very popular football athlete in school, and he went out on this outing to Horn Island with 3 friends who were all white and didn't come back. And there it gets muddy because you have the young lady saying he left to go to the boat. They're saying he told her they were staying. What doesn't make sense, what doesn't add up, is then how did they end up with his cell phone? I don't know many 18-year-olds that would give somebody else their cell phone and their car keys. And they not go and tell the parents when he's apparently missing, we have the cell phone and the car key. So that's what causes attention. And as I said in my eulogy, we are talking about Mississippi. So it doesn't convict them, but it certainly means when you have law enforcement immediately saying that we see no foul play, well, you haven't even investigated this yet. So how do you end the investigation?
Remember when Mr. Big Bad Wolf first came out and was like, yeah, there wasn't no foul play. How the hell you gonna say that when you ain't even take the body to the medical center yet? That's why I said that sheriff, he on some old bozo shit. Because when y'all first found the body, the first thing y'all wanted to throw in the air, the first narrative, it wasn't a crime scene. It don't look like foul play. How y'all know? The people that actually, the Rangers and all them niggas came down with ropes and shit. Them niggas came down there and they found the body. They not even saying that it was foul play. They didn't even say nothing. So how the hell the sheriff gonna come out? And that's the first thing you're gonna say. You know why? Because you in cahoots with them. Allegedly, and everything I say is alleged. See, we gotta remind people. We gotta judge as a stepmother to one of the boys, and we don't even know the other boys, their parents' profession because they want to be all in the cut. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to talk. So when the sheriff on some bullshit like this, exactly, you in cahoots with them. That's all I could. That's all I could think of. Because how you gonna come out from the first time you seen a body and say there ain't no crime, but then damn near 3 weeks you ain't got an interview, arrest, no tampering with a phone, nothing. but you was quick to say it wasn't no crime scene. That's how we know something going on. Everybody could smell it. Even Nancy Grace could smell that shit. Shout out to Nancy Grace. Al Sharpton could smell that shit. Everybody could smell that because that shit doesn't make no sense when you first find a body and you say it's not a crime. The body didn't even make it to the medical. They spinning. Exactly, official. They spinning this shit. It been almost, it's about to be 3 weeks, official. We ain't get an autopsy from Ocean Springs, Dade County, Jackson County. Ben Crump, he to the point like, man, I'm dropping my shit tomorrow. We all waiting on that tomorrow morning. They hiding something, man. Every move they making, they moving shaky. Them niggas is scared. They motions them like it's suspect. The sheriff set it off from the beginning when he said, yeah, it's not a crime scene. Nigga, can we investigate this shit first? Mr. Big Bad Wolf down there, they ain't got no arrests or nothing.
In people's minds, cocky. So that's what causes attention. And as I said in my eulogy, we are talking about Mississippi. So it doesn't convict them, but it certainly means when you have law enforcement immediately saying that we see no foul play, well, you haven't even investigated this yet. So how do you end the investigation in people's minds saying no foul play without an investigation, which is why they came, I believe, to people like me and Ben Crump and Tyler Perry and others stood up. So we're saying we want the truth, whatever it is, but you can't say there was nothing happening here. The young man is dead for going on an outing on the 4th of July with 3 friends. Is that all that happened and it's an accident? Well, show me where the accident is. Or is this more serious? And that's why I think the parents are right to have the people rally around digging into this, because it doesn't smell right to me.
Talk that shit, Al, because you ain't the only one. We got Nancy Grace selling it, saying the same thing. It doesn't fit right with nobody. The way they was moving. Hesitating to go find the keys, GPS of the boat, stopping for 15 minutes. What's the case on that? Hey, Mr. Sheriff, you out there? Hey, Ocean Springs, Sheriff Department. You out there? You still don't know why they stopped for 15 minutes on the dock? We ain't got no dock cameras. We ain't got no dock on videos. We ain't got. Every dock got cameras nowadays. We're in 2026. Oh, let me repeat myself. We're in 2026. Every dock of a boat, and these are high-class boats. These boats are expensive nowadays. They all got cameras on them docks. It been 2 weeks, Sheriff. Why the GPS show that them boys took a 15-minute break? What's going on here? That's why Nancy don't believe that shit. Let's get 800 likes in the building, man. Come on, man. Smash them likes, man. Smash that like button. Let's get 800 likes. That's why Nancy ain't smelling that shit. Because we all could smell what's going on down there in Mississippi. Let's go back to an old interview. Let's go back to one of his friends. Remember Shepard? The guy said, yeah, they ain't Nolan over there. That's me over there arguing. Let's go back to him right quick. Because that video is very curious, bro. Because y'all trying to X him out, trying to say that argument came from him all of a sudden, from Shepard, right? How we know that? There's hundreds of people on that video. We're going to go back to the video I had. There's hundreds of people with boats out there. Y'all know more than what y'all telling us. Let me see if we find that interview. What the hell is that Shepard interview? I think it's right here.
This morning, we're learning more about the Independence Day boat trip Nolan Wells and his friends took to Mississippi's Horn Island. As part of a records request to the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, NBC News obtained GPS information for the boat. The records show it departed from a private boat launch at 9:56 a.m.
All right, that's a good video, though, because that GPS boat, I wanted to get to that, because that shit is bullshit what they telling us. But that Shepard guy, it's something going on with him, and I don't care what nobody said.
I just know I've lost my.
Now, this is the kid Shepard right here. This is the kid talking on the audio. Now, he was one of the first ones to say, shout out to damn on Watkins. Shout out to Watkins for that on $20 super chat, man. Shout out to Watkins for that $20 super chat. He said, what about the GPS? Then they say the GPS and that the boat was moved several times after going back to the mainland. They stopped for 15 minutes on the dock. And we still didn't even get an answer why they stopped on that dock for 15 minutes. The GPS clearly shows that the boat stopped at a dock because remember, they called a private towing. They called a whole private towing. Canceled the public one, was like, nah, we got a private one coming. What the hell y'all was hiding for? What's going on? Because when you call a private towing, let me tell y'all something. When y'all call somebody that got their own towing, you can hide a lot of shit, allegedly. You think that person gonna snitch on you? Funny how everyone saw Nolan. Hold on, that's good. Talking to Shorty, but no one saw him drowning. That part, that's what I don't get also. And then you got this clown ass dude right here, Shepard, talking about that's him arguing. That ain't Nolan in the video. Let me just play this video.
Best friend.
This morning, a friend of Nolan Wells, who was with the 18-year-old the day he was last seen alive, is sharing what he says happened during a July 4th boat trip to an isolated barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
You see how we got two friends saying they was the last two to see him alive? Y'all peep that out? We got the new classmate saying, yeah, I was the last one to see him alive. He was kind of hammered. He was stumbling. He was slurring his words. I just played that video with the new friend said that, the new classmate. Then you got the old one over here saying that he was the last person to see Nolan alive. But he said Nolan is not in that video where you hear an argument and you hear somebody dropping the F-bomb and saying, give me back my phone. What you doing with my phone? He's saying that's him. But you was the last one to see Nolan alive? Make it make sense here. But you said Nolan wasn't in this video.
Trayston Shepard trip to an isolated was with the 18-year-old the day he was last seen alive is sharing what he says happened during a July 4th boat trip to an isolated barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Trayston Shepard declined to speak with us on camera because he says he and his friends are getting threats.
We did no wrong here, and we don't understand how we're getting so much hate behind it. We all cared and loved Nolan, and nobody wanted to see Nolan die. Nobody wanted to see his life be taken so short.
Shepard addressed this viral video that investigators have been studying. Wells's parents worried it showed their son involved in a confrontation, but Shepard said that's...
Hello. Didn't I been saying that his parents didn't X that out, that, yo, that's not my son in the video? They said they've been investigating that shit, saying that they think their son is in this video that y'all actually see. But one of his friends, Shepard, saying, no, that's not Nolan in the video. If I could recall, a parent know their son more. They got identify their son in the video way more than some so-called friend. Because Mama Love said, you're not really the best friend anyway. This person that's talking.
It's him, not Wells.
That's the...
Shepard said that's him. Viral video that investigators have been studying. Wells's parents worried it showed their son involved in a confrontation, but Shepard said that's him, not Wells.
That's the video I'm referring to. That's me yelling.
Shepard says he took a boat back from Horn Island in the late afternoon, but Wells stayed behind with a girl he had met.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they'd ever hung out was at Horn Island on July 4th.
Investigators believe Wells drowned and say there were no immediate signs of foul play. But there is growing frustration in the community, and his parents are skeptical, telling GMA Wells left his phone behind and they tracked it to one of his friends.
It was showing everywhere the phone had been, like it had. I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land.
The sheriff said the parents have not turned over the phone to investigators. Their lawyer said they will. While the investigation goes on, Trayston Shepard wants the focus on his friend.
I want everybody just to relax and let everybody mourn the loss of Nolan, and let us remember him as in like the sweet guy. I think everybody needs to let the investigation continue and let the facts be shown.
Shepard has spoken with the police guys, and the sheriff told us that both he and all of Wells's friends have been cooperative. We're still waiting on the results of the official autopsy and the independent autopsy the family has ordered, hoping to get the Wells family the answers that they so desperately seek.
Oh, man. All right, man. So what y'all think? What y'all think gonna happen tomorrow? What y'all think gonna happen tomorrow with Ben Crump with this independent autopsy they're gonna drop tomorrow morning? What y'all think gonna happen? Yeah, Sharif said fake ass. You talking about the friend, right, Sharif? All of a sudden, they're the last people that seen Nolan. Yeah, I was the last one that seen Nolan that day. You know what I mean? Then we get another classmate. Yeah, you know, he was kind of hammered that day. He was slurring through his words. Okay, I could listen. I could understand drinking. It's 4th of July. I could understand that. They 18. It's summer break. They're going back. He plays sports, so he's trying to get all the numbers and little poom poom he could get. Shout out to little Nolan, man. He's a young man. He's trying to get all the little numbers he could get. Nah, I mean, chasing little poom poom out there, drinking his little brews, whatever he was doing. I could see that. But when it comes to the drug thing, nah. See, my question is, what's up with this picture right here? Because if y'all want to bring a drug situation up, why this person look like this is the drug dealer in this picture? Allegedly. Y'all still didn't even tell us about this grown-ass man and grown-ass woman in this picture? Y'all want to say it's a week old? We all don't believe that shit? You see a whole bunch of young college kids. You see somebody back there that look like Nolan. We don't even, some people think that's not Nolan. Some people think that is Nolan. But then when you look at the middle of the pool, you got a grown-ass man with a grown-ass woman. And we still don't even know when the shit was taken, where it was at, who house was it? Was it a night before? Because like I told y'all before, this picture is the night before. Remember when they spend it and they trying to say, yo, it was a week, it's a week before, this and that? No, Nolan spent the night at one of their house on Friday. He left Saturday morning to go to the island. This picture allegedly is the night before. Everybody celebrate 4th of July, especially on a Friday going all the way to the weekend. Lot of sus, a lot of pedo going on. I don't know, allegedly. I don't know what the hell's going on in this picture. But I'm going to tell you one thing. They still didn't give us an explanation or give us a reason what's going on in this picture. Because this is a real picture. This ain't no AI picture for people that just coming in. Shout out to Secret Service Sam. Secret Service Sam said this picture is official. He said they could adjust it, they could switch up and edit the time and all that. I talked about this shit like in my 2 lives yesterday and in the live before. This shit is official. This shit came from Evan, one of the kids that was on the boat with Nola. I don't know, gang. I don't know, man. But what y'all think gonna happen tomorrow, though? That's my question to y'all in the chat. What y'all think gonna happen tomorrow? They killed our brother. That's what he said. What make me mad is so-called friends. So-called friends said relax how they do and tell a mother anyway that love Nolan Wells to relax after learning he died. Ain't nobody knows what happened. You know what get me mad? You know what get me mad on more mad Queen Loyalty? Remember the part when Javon mom went to the house to go get the phone and they sitting in the dark according to Javon mother, I still got all that. According to Javon mom, she walked in, they sitting in the dark watching a movie while this boy missing on the island. Who does that? You tell me any college kids that does some shit like that. These are college kids. They just got hammered at the alley. You think they're gonna come home and sit down and watch a goddamn movie? Come on, man. Think about that. That's what get me mad about that shit. Keys on gaming console. Yeah, the keys was on Xbox. Open the casket tomorrow. He wasn't allowed to be with her. They definitely said that it was a lot of people and they friends with that was in school, and they said he was at the last one. Don't look like he was at that picture behind the guy with the arms. That doesn't look like Nolan the Pool. That's what a lot of people think. A lot of people said that ain't Nolan the Pool either. Autopsy will show suspicious findings. Guilt will have you bugged out. I'm trying to tell you, I can't wait till tomorrow. I ain't gonna hold y'all. That's why I said keep that notification bell on. They was watching Mississippi burning. Nasty work. But hopefully there won't be no drugs and none of like shit. None of part of my language. Nothing like that. Because obviously we getting an independent autopsy tomorrow. So that's coming from the family and their representative, Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, Tyler Perry, everybody. So Colin Kaepernick, all of them. Shout out to all of them. He said Crump gonna drop a bombshell tomorrow. I think so too. I thought the friend confirmed it. It was him, but was a week before. I don't know on Ken Martin. Shout out to Ken Martin. I know them friends ain't do shit, I'll tell you that. They went back a couple hours later and they act like they were sitting down watching a movie. But then we played a video yesterday. Allegedly, one of Nolan's female friends said they partied right after they got to the island. I mean, they got to the land. And they partied all the way to, I guess, when Mama Love friend, Javon mother, got to the house and she got the phone. I'm going to tell you my theory, and I said this shit yesterday, allegedly. I think they brought the body from the land to the island. Something happened. A lot of people assuming something happened at the pool party or at their house. Something weird happened. They panicked. Parents got involved. They had to cover it up. Those their kids. One of them a judge. That's a stepmom. So she's not going to let her son go to jail. And if something happened by accident, they're going to cover it up by any means necessary. Like I told you, a parent's going to be by their kid's side, either they right or wrong. So can we all agree on that? So when you got a judge as a stepmother, you think she's not going to help her son and their friends? I think something happened on the land and they brought the body to the island. Because you got to understand, we haven't got a video from 4 p.m. all the way to 12 a.m. to the time they made a phone call and they say Nolan was missing. Let that marinate in your brain. I'm going by when the boys left. We're going to go by the GPS boat. The GPS boat, according to the boys, they say they left at 4:30. So we're going to look at 4:30 all the way to 12 a.m. Because by 12 a.m., that's when Mama Love made a phone call and said, my son, he's not home. They put the missing report. They went out there and started searching. But my thing is, why we haven't got a video, timeline, anybody out there between 4 p.m. all the way till whenever, make it make sense, man. That's why I believe something happened on the land and they brought that body back. Because you got a whole span. You telling me that Katie, the girl that he decided to stay back with and enjoy the rest of the 4th of July with her family on the boat, you telling me Katie Let me tell y'all something. And everybody, we got 1,100 people in the chat and we're watching right now. Let me tell y'all something. Every female got their phone with them. Can we all agree with that? So if he was with a girl named Katie, you don't think Katie was taking videos and shit like that? Last time I recall, you could go by a grown ass woman that's 50, 40, 40, whatever, my era. They keep their phone with them, bro. And they like to record, take pictures, all that shit. I don't care if you're in the middle of a goddamn island. If your phone working and they can take pictures and videos, you're gonna do it as a female. And you telling me Katie ain't got no videos and pictures after 4:30 p.m. when the boys left? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Since y'all want to throw this female all in the narrative, where the hell is her phone? Can we look at her phone, her photos and videos? Because last time I recall, girls always taking photos and videos at that age also. She's a college girl. It's 4th of July, 250 years of America. You don't think she out there taking videos and photos with her family? Let's be serious. Let's be serious. That's why I said that shit is bullshit. When we got the second video of Nolan on the second bowl, and they saying that's some girl named Katie, her father, whatever. Matter of fact, I got that video. Hold up. Let's go back to that goddamn video. We ain't doing nothing tonight, right, gang? We ain't doing nothing tonight. Hold up, man. Because it's like, yo, come on, man. Every female that I've been around with, man, they taking photos, they taking pictures, and they taking videos, bro. There's no way in the world you're gonna tell me Katie ain't never take a goddamn picture between 4:30 and all the way till Nolan got to unalive. Get the hell out of here, man. That shit is bullshit. Throw that shit up. Straight bullshit.
Wait, you telling me there's a member in Katie's family who is allegedly on the run right now, and that person could be the person?
The young woman who was with Nolan when his friends left the island.
Hold up, gang. I'm trying to find this goddamn video because I'm tired of this shit that they want to bring up what time the boat left and all this bullshit.
Arriving at the island by 11:14 and staying there until 4:30 p.m. This morning, we're learning more about the Independence Day boat trip Nolan Wells and his friends took to Mississippi's Horn Island. As part of a records request to the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, NBC News obtained GPS information for the boat. The records show it departed from a private boat launch at 9:56 a.m., arriving at the island by 11:14 and staying there until 4:30 p.m. An audio of a call around that time to a private towing company obtained from the same records request, the caller explains a mechanical issue with the boat.
We're sinking. Can you all please come?
The towing company dispatched reaching out to a local captain for help.
It sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island, and he's saying the boat is sinking. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then tow it in.
Records then show the boat being towed slowly from about 4:31 until 5:25 before getting back to normal speed. The boat then returned to its original location at 5:44 without Nolan Wells. Melissa Miller was at Horn Island on the 4th. She says there were hundreds of boaters there for the holiday.
It's just a big community. Everyone goes out there and, you know, has a good time.
Now, remember the second bullshit ass video they want to give us of, I guess, a black guy bending down on a boat? They want to say that's Katie dad boat. You see, the reason why I'm bringing this video up, not for nothing, because like I'm going to explain to people, there's no way in the world you're going to tell me females is not out there taking videos and photos and enjoying 4th of July, and we don't got a clear photo and video of Nolan chilling with some female named Katie. That's impossible. He don't got his phone. Katie got her phone. So Katie gonna take videos and photos while Nolan chilling on a boat with her and her family. Because now they saying that this boat allegedly that you see Nolan bending down on, pause, that's Katie father boat. That's why I'm about to play this video. And you telling me nobody ain't got no video of that boy being on that boat, a clear video or nothing? Of him hanging out with some girl that he got a crush on because he's trying to get the poom poom, whatever he's trying to do that night. I mean, that day. That's bullshit, bro. That's bullshit. Because every girl, we could go to a bar right now, to a lounge. That girl got her phone on her, and she going just like this. You trying to get the number. She over there flashing, taking pictures. You like, yo, I mean, we get that number, though, ma. Girls love to take videos. They love to take photos, bro. Especially young college girls. White girls as that. Let's continue.
To me, this looked like it could be 18-year-old Nolan Wells at another sighting. Let me pull up the photo. Now, y'all see those shorts right there? Let me show y'all the photo of 18-year-old Nolan Wells and the photo of the boys that they had took on the boat, allegedly. Tell me that don't look like 18-year-old Nolan Wells' shorts right there and everything. Also, I've always wondered, what happened to 18-year-old Nolan Wells' red beads? If y'all notice, there was also two people on the front of that boat or whatnot right here that looks to be like it could be the guy that's right there next to Nolan in that photo with the dark blue shorts right there. And then those other shorts look like he can match the other guy with those shorts on, but then the person's hair is kind of off right there. But then you have this guy that's sitting right here, and there's a person that's sitting right there in front of him that he's talking to or whatever, looking at or whatnot. But that guy right there, that guy kind of looks like this guy right here. If this guy...
Now, they saying allegedly this Katie father. That's the guy that owned the boat. Remember they had the sign Big Daddy, Mac Daddy, Little Daddy. Everybody was trying to figure out what the hell was the name of the boat. The only thing you see at the end is a daddy. Well, allegedly, because like I said, they want to bring Katie involved in all this shit, which I don't understand how Katie ain't got no photos or videos, and why we ain't got no interview or the real Katie, according to the sheriff. Yeah, I need any photos out there, interview. Man, let me tell you something, Sheriff. You know everybody in town, go question them. But anyway, that's her pops, allegedly. This is supposed to be the guy that's supposed to be the ex-firefighter or whatever. I guess he got connections also. Like I said, all these parents, they got good professions. They all connected. And I don't know how true this is. We don't even know if Katie even exists. Let's start there. Shit is crazy.
Guy was on the boat, whatever, looking at or whatnot. But that guy right there, that guy kind of looks like this guy right here. If this guy was on the boat, does this guy look like it was that guy to y'all? Look at this guy right here, because I go back to the photo. Back to the photo for everybody, so that way y'all can see the other photo. Think of the build, think of the head structure and everything. And look right here. Take a good look, everybody. Take a look. Look at the head. Look at the build and everything. It even looks like the guy right here is even wearing glasses on his face at the same time right here. And then this is the name of the boat. The name of the boat also shows at the back of it. Now, I cannot make out the name all the way, but it looks to see something like Big Daddy or something like that. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like it says Big Daddy on the back of that boat right there. Now, I think that they need to be able to get that original video so that way the quality will be way better. That video over there has been slowed down such like that and everything. You can't even hear the voices. It might be nice to be able to hear the voices in there. Also, the timestamp of that video as well. Because if that do end up being the guy that's in the photo of the guy that's on the boat, the guy in the photo is Katie's dad, everybody. Well, allegedly that's Katie's dad. At least that's what she posted over there on her channel, because I went digging myself and then I seen that photo over there. And it's crazy that I had seen that video.
We tired of that little. I mean, shout out to you, homie, with your little, I mean, long neck. But anyway, shout out to you. He be doing a good job, though. So make sure y'all go follow him, whatever. Shout out to the homie, though. He do a good job, man. He got a nice following on Instagram and all that. But like I said, who the hell is Katie and who the hell is her father? They all protected. Somehow, some way, they all connected. That's the sad part. Let me see what the chat got to say, man. I got some time tonight. Let me see what y'all got to say tonight. See what the chat. Make sure y'all grab y'all own membership. Be down with Team Smoke, man. Support the channel, man. Smash that like button. Damn, we only had we should have 1,000 likes. A lot of people left, but it's cool though, man. We should have 1,000 likes though. You know, we used to this type of shit. You know, shit gets spicy. People want to go jump on the other platforms. Go ahead. I don't be hating on people's shit. He said they lawyered up. That's a fact. They definitely did. He said they all played a part in Nolan's demise. Shout out to the homie, man. He said they all played a part, and I'm gonna tell you who all played a part, man. That boy was at their house, bro. When Pops went there and got the keys, I'm telling you, I'm telling y'all, man, y'all gotta understand. If y'all been following my channel and y'all been understanding how I've been breaking this shit down, when Pops went and got the keys to the car, they was panicking. They was acting very strange. Let me tell y'all something. The way they was acting when the two people went there and got their phone and keys, Mama Love friend went and got the phone, and Pops went and got the keys. They was acting very strange. When I look at this, when I hear their story, that tells me maybe allegedly that body was probably in the house while they came and got the keys and the phone, bro. Ain't nobody gonna, your body's not gonna survive in that water for a day and a half and come back on shore and exactly be laid out exactly where you was partying at. It doesn't work like that. When they grabbed the phone and the key, Nolan body power was in that house. That's why they was playing panicky. That's why all the lights was off and they watching a movie. Mama Love on Friends said that shit was weird as hell. And it took 15 minutes to even bring the phone to her. We got Javon. That's Javon's mother. She said, yo, that shit was weird as hell when we went to the house. They all watching TV in the dark. Make it make sense, man. They protecting Katie father. They protecting all the ass, to be honest. They protecting all of them, man. Facts. He had two ways. He had a two-stay calm when he supposed to be loved, but it wasn't. Shout out to you. Allegedly, Katie's father was the fire department's chief. He has a fireman shirt on in the close-up picture. That shit crazy, man. I feel bad, though, man, because I can't wait till tomorrow morning. I really can't. But y'all got to understand, man, they could place a body there, and the water still could get in your lungs. If you place a body exactly like how Nancy Grace said, your face is flat down, it's on the sand. You're not all the way on land. You're like at the edge of it, and water's still hitting your body, and it's still getting in your mouth and your lungs. Pause. You're swallowing. Even if you're unalive, the water still is getting in your body because you're face down. That's why Nancy Grace said, I don't believe that story. that he was out there for a day and a goddamn half, and all of a sudden his body just came back and reappeared Monday morning. That shit doesn't make no sense. We got alligators, we got sharks, we got all types of shit out there, bro. They brought his body back to the island. I guarantee you that's what happened. Allegedly. The freaking desert island, pure craziness. That's what I'm saying. Oh man, I'm late. I have to run the replay. Shout out to Say Hey Miss Zoe, man. Shout out to Say Hey Miss Zoe, man. Do that replay, man. We about 2 hours and 30 minutes. We don't ran. Yeah, we ran in here. Yeah, we did our thing tonight. Shout out to the whole team Smoke. Shout out to everybody that been rocking on my channel. Shout out to all my subs, man. Back in the same place. That's what I'm saying. How the hell your body gonna appear back in the same place? That shit doesn't make no sense, bro. The same dude he's showing video shows the picture of Katie. Uncle video calls in. We found out Katie was with his uncle. He showed a picture of both. No, it would be his stomach, but not the lungs. It appears that in your lungs, when you actively drowning. I can hear that, but I guarantee you they placed his body back on that island. I guarantee you they did that shit, yo. Katie's sister Facebook post, man, it sounded like the mom told. I keep forgetting to look for the body when Nolan died and the coach in the body was not there, remember? That, so the whole boat thing is like the boat. Yeah, I remember that. Because remember when Pops and them went out there Sunday. Shout out to Dre. Hey, Dre, refresh my memory because, you know, like I said, that's why y'all come here. Y'all refresh my memory sometimes. I think Pops actually went out there with the coach. Remember the coach, the black coach? They went out there because remember Pops said, yo, I ain't got no friends with no boat. But one of the coaches actually called me. I think he was talking about the black coach. They went out there on a Sunday and it wasn't nobody. But then the following day, Monday morning, there was a body. If I'm not mistaken. That shit weird as hell to me, bro. He said all those folks got their passports and gone now. I'm trying to tell you, right? Everybody was probably sitting there fake watching the movie because he probably really died in a swim pool. That part, that's what I was thinking too, Queen Loyalty. I was thinking he was in the house, man. I'm thinking that boy was in the house. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. And they brought that body there. Something strange going on with this shit, bro. There's no way in the world your body gonna reappear on shore and you felt your body face down like that. And Pops went out there to go look for him on Sunday, and they didn't even find him on Sunday. That shit don't make no sense. And they had the Rangers and shit on Sunday. Because remind y'all, they didn't give up on Nolan on Saturday. They was back out there on Sunday, and they still didn't find his body. For some strange reason, his body reappeared on Monday morning. Nah, they dropped that body off. That's what happened. Allegedly. He died he got unalive at the house party. I think it was too. Because number one, we don't know if Nolan was on a boat. The GPS just tell us the timing of the boat. That's it. We ain't got no image from the satellites showing Nolan chilling on a boat, whatever, with the fellas and all that. We ain't got none of that shit. The GPS shows that they stopped and they took like a 15-minute break. What was that 15-minute break about? Was y'all was cleaning the boat up? Did y'all have Nolan on the boat? That's why y'all decided to call it a private towing? Because y'all could cahoon with that private towing because y'all know that individual and they're gonna help y'all out, obviously. Because y'all didn't want the public towing to come get y'all, so y'all cancel that and y'all called a private towing. That showed me all cover up. Showed me all cover up. The Ranger cleaned the island and brought Nolan back from the other dock. They had drones out there. I already spoke about the drones, but Pops updates later. I already spoke about the drones. They had drones out there. They didn't even find his body, but his body reappeared on Monday morning. Make it make sense. Mama Love filed paperwork to be Nolan executive to his estate. It will be filed. Yeah, I heard about that. Quan. I heard about that. Who's that? Taquan Queen. Quiet Queen, I heard about that. The cell phone forensic will reveal the timeline. That's all we need is the goddamn cell phone, to be honest, and we good. But one thing I'm gonna say about the cell phone thing, they need to go grab their phones also and see what they deleted. Because I'm pretty much sure them boys deleted a lot of shit off their phone. Photos, videos, everything. I guarantee y'all that. When we gonna get a search warrant or anything on their phone? Because we all know they had Nolan's phone for several hours. Hello. Last time they seen Nolan was at 3 p.m. They had that phone from 3 p.m. afternoon all the way till Nolan was reported missing at 12 a.m. You know how long they had that phone in their possession? You know how much you could do with that phone, what they was doing? You know how many, that's a whole hour shift that they had this phone with. They had his phone from 3 p.m. because according to the boys, that's the last time they seen them. They had his phone from 3 p.m. all the way till Mama Love, Javon's mother, got the phone. That's about 12 o'clock midnight, 12:30 midnight. That's an 8-hour shift. Day and there more. You know how much they could do with that phone? You know how much tampering they did with that phone allegedly? Make it make sense. The judge's phone record to the sheriff is going bust wide open. Pause. I hope so, Jay. I ain't gonna hold you. He said he was into white girls. His white male supposed to be friends. He hated him. Being getting the attention of WW Mississippi has not changed it properly. They probably killed them. Shout out to Paul. Facts. With technology, they don't need fit. What it said was it? What technology we don't need physically have their phone. But that's what I'm saying, Bella. With the technology we got, we don't need their phone. But see, they pausing, they hesitating, they doing a lot of hesitation going on. I mean, they sitting back at cheers at the bar, like, yeah, what's going on, buddy? That's all they doing. They don't even care. It's been crumping them trying to find the truth in us, in the public, and everybody else. That's what's going on. Because we can't count on their technology. They ain't doing their job. That shit crazy. Straight dirty work, savages. Yeah, that's a fact. He said, watch Mama Love calling them when she was trying to find him. Remember, he took 15 to give them the phone, and the girl had them. Yeah, we spoke about that, Dre. It was very hesitating to bring that phone and them keys. I believe they kept the phone to make them seem like Nolan was with them until the mom started asking for the phones and keys. I believe that shit too. They all went on the code. And I don't know, gang. We've been here about damn near 3 hours. Let me get up out of there. I'm tapping out, man. I'm tapping out. But we definitely be back on tomorrow because we got to find out about the autopsy tomorrow. So we'll be back on tomorrow. So for all the newcomers that's jumping in, for everybody that jumped in earlier, make sure y'all keep that notification bell on. We be over here doing our thing. That part. Shout out to Team Smoke. Shout out to the whole Smoke gang that's subscribed to the channel. We be doing our thing. So make sure you keep that notification bell. Share the video because we need this shit in the light. That part. And subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button most definitely and hype your boy up. And I'm up out of here, man. We've been here about almost 3 hours, 2 hours and 40 minutes. We had a good time. I'm up out of here. We be back on tomorrow to find out what's going on. Till then, it's your boy Smoke News TV. If they know, they know. Get your membership too. Join the gang. Team Smoke. It's your boy Smoke News TV. Salute gang. I'm out of here. Y'all know how I get. I'm loopy over here too. Let's get to that. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells, man.
Yeah. This is Smoke News TV. We back in the building. Let's get to it. Smoke News TV, where the truth gets revealed. Every headline getting peeled, every rumor getting grilled. Hip hop industry drama, every deal. If it's making noise, then you know I'm in the field. Smoke News TV. I sit back and wait on it. Cause the truth always rises when the smoke starts clearing. Smoke News TV. We back in the building. Break Breaking down the latest, every story got layers, everybody got opinions. I'ma do the homework first, looking past the captions, digging deeper than the surface, cause every viral headline don't determine what the truth is. Beats, contracts, albums, interviews, who's making power moves, who's just chasing views. Some call it gossip, I call it research, connecting every dot before I give my first words. If it's solid, I'ma say it. If it's weak, I'ma call it. If I catch somebody moving funny, that's nasty work. Close Smoke News TV. We back in the bill. Smoke News TV. We back in the. No bias over here. I just call what I see. Whether legends or the rookies, everybody gets reviewed. Culture over clout, that's the code I live by. Every episode, another conversation amplified. So yo, if you're rocking with the movement, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and hype your boy up.